Araba iko máa gbọ́dọ̀ wó.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Araba iko máa gbọ́dọ̀ wó.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Aṣáyé kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ gbé.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Ìjì ayé kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ gbé lọ.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Ìtú ayé kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ pa ó.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wó. Kò nílé wó e. Ọlọ́gbọ́n ayé o, ẹ̀sùn mọ́ bí. Olóyè ayé ẹ má bá mi ká lọ. Ọ̀fọ̀ ìgbéyàwó ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lẹ́nu mi. Mo ní igi là ń bẹ nígbò ìgbò. Igbó ìmá mi wò lọ. Araba yìí wá ń gbìyànjú kò dọ́mọ kó wà lárẹ́rẹ́ lọ. Igi ńlá iyọ̀ wà lóhun tó máa fi ṣàràbà lóore. Oníwíwó ní káràbà ìlọ́wọ́ láwùjọ igi. Onílé wò é kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Ṣọ́dá àbáhùn sọ Fúlàní òyìnbó ṣe ń pa wá. Ṣó wá sùn ọkọ̀ Mádéyẹmọ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kó jáwọ́ ní. Àwọn àgbààgbà ikọ̀ wọn kò tíra mú odò sí wa kó wà láyé rẹ̀ lọ. Ó máa ṣe òye kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Èrò bá mi kọ́ mọ́ adé mọ́. Èmi kí ọmọ yìnyọ ilẹ̀ akíkanjú ọkùnrin ogun. Èrò bá mi kọ́ mọ́ wọn ní gbọ́ ọmọ rẹ̀. Iná máa rógún màmá ti di pẹ̀lẹ́ ọmọ bàbá rógún màmá ṣojo. Sunday ẹyẹ tó má ṣe bọ́ kí yẹn ò sí ní gbọ́mọ́. Òrìṣà tí ó ṣe bọ́kọ̀ Mádéyẹmọ́ ni ṣebí yẹn ò kọ́mọ́ lágbẹ̀dẹ. Ẹ̀bà lè jẹ́ ẹ̀bọ̀nà jẹ́. Adéyẹmí yóò máa sọ kọ̀ọ̀kan láì dáa. Kìkì orí tó máa kọ́ ni wípé Yorùbá nation yìí ló going back in. Ẹ̀dá bí rẹ̀ ṣọ̀wọ́n òye kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò, kò nílé wò é. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká rórí. Ọjọ́ wo ni wọ́n dalẹ̀ Ifẹ̀ tán gangan? Àwọn kan sáré kó lè dára. Èrè bó bàjẹ́ kókò mí làwọn kan sá. Ṣó dára kí dára ṣo ìwà lókun. Yorùbá ìrònú kẹ́lọ́ fi mọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Ọ̀tá ló pọ̀ tán ìwà ká. Kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò.
Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó láwùjọ.
Yà mí lẹ́nu omi nù ń kọ́ mi. Ìdí táwọn àgbààgbà ìtàn kò fi lè sòdodo. ó ti sọ́wọ́n àjẹkẹ́ wá jọba ìran láwọn àgbààgbà ìgbèdánijọ́ kiri ó máa ṣe òye ó máa gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́.
àwọn ọba ní ẹgbùdọ̀ wọ́n láwùjọ.
ọba mẹ́wàá ìgbà mẹ́wàá yóò máa lòlẹ̀ ayé gbọ́. lọ́ba lọ́ba lóye lóye Yorùbá mo bẹ̀ yín ẹ ṣayé ire. kò bàjẹ́ láyé Olúgbọ́n kò má bàjẹ́ láyé Àrẹ̀sà o. kò má torí tí yín bàjẹ́ òye. abẹ́ orí arúgbó Yorùbá ó máa fọwọ́ rọ́ọ̀rì kú mọ́. ẹ bá ọ̀nà lọ́mọ kéékèèké kú sí kiri. olóko lè lóko nílẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́. kíjokíjo lọ́dọ́ ló wọ̀n yìí wá ń sáré kiri. ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká relé. bájọ́ bájúmọ́ á ń padà sílé bàbá ẹni ni. ṣebí ewúrẹ́ yẹn ò ló ṣọmọ yàgùntàn. àgùntàn ló ní màmá mi òbí dúdú òye. ṣebí látọdún tá ti wà nínú Nàìjíríà yìí. ìdẹ̀ra là ń fojoojúmọ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn. ṣùgbọ́n òmìnira náà fojoojúmọ́ fún àmú. ó ṣe àsìkò tí tó ilé tó lọ òmìnira làfẹ́ ó ṣe àsìkò tí tó ilé tó lọ òmìnira làfẹ́ ó ṣe àsìkò tí tó ilé tó lọ òmìnira làfẹ́ ó ṣe àsìkò tí tó ilé tó lọ òmìnira làfẹ́ ó ṣe àsìkò tí tó ilé tó lọ òmìnira làfẹ́
Destroyed an enemy cruiser.
ọmọ Yorùbá kí la fẹ́ o Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. ọmọ Yorùbá kí la fẹ́ o Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. ọmọ wọn Nàìjíríà Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. ọmọ wọn Nàìjíríà Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. kí ìtọ́ mi sẹ́yìn o Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. ìtẹ́pá wa jẹ́ òtítọ́ Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. ìyá yìí máa pọ̀ lápọ̀jù Yorùbá nation la fẹ́.
Injunction. I don't know whether these people have been served by the courts by that. To psychologically damage to defend himself. What has caused that? Okay, Euphoria star died of accidental drug overdose. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there as well. But this is all coming away from Star Radio UK. In the UK, now police release new images of Sarah Sharif. Sarah's father, stepmother, and uncle are due to stand trial at the Old Bailey in September 2024. What brought about her death? Okay, girl is UK's first kidney recipient to need to not need long-term drugs. So doctors reprogrammed 8-year-old Aditi's immune system so she does not need daily anti-rejection drugs. That is quite an interesting one. Kudos to them. Tax cuts virtually impossible at present. Hunt is saying, the Chancellor says the cost of public debt has left him with some very difficult decisions. Well, he will say that because, well, it's not hitting them as much as it's hitting everybody, is it? Yeah? Okay. If they have got mortgages to pay, as some of us have got, as some people have got, and bills to pay, as some are going through and are virtually scratching beneath the bottom of the barrel to make ends meet, then they will know what they're talking about. But for now, well. It is all coming away from Star Radio UK. More going to be coming away from there. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. We shall have Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI joining us in the next few moments. But now, let's enjoy this tune. And it says, the goodness of God. After all, the week has gone through. And it's Friday now. Well, it took the goodness of God to keep and sustain us. So let's join Christopher Martin on the goodness of God. A reggae version of it. And enjoy. I'll be with you once we have Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy.
This is Star Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful.
Well, listen to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
You have been so
And as I did say, we have Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI who has joined in. So you know what? Don't you worry. I'm going to bring you that song once we finish with the update from Nigeria. I promise you. I promise. If I forget, remind me. And I'm surely going to be doing that. The goodness of God. That is what has kept us, sustained us. But for now, let's go to our North London studios where we have our own, my co-presenter, Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI, all ready to fire on all cylinders. And let me say, Yummy, good morning.
Well, a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Very good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world. Good afternoon for those that are joining us in the other part of the world. And welcome once again to the Friday edition, the 22nd day of September 2023. And I say good morning to you, Frank, and also good morning to Mr. Dante, the money man. We love money, especially yesterday was a great news for many homelanders, sure, with inflation. But let me come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes. How are you? How is the family doing?
Well, we are very great. The family is doing very well as well, and we are grateful that we are still here doing what we love to do. We can only be, pleased that some of us that have lived part of our life here, yesterday I was saying that it's now just about 25 years that I came into the country, and it's just like yesterday, when you look back, you just have to be grateful to life.
Yeah, of course. Being grateful is what is very important. But listeners, now we have to be grateful to what God is doing. But well, is God doing much in Africa? Somebody will say no, somebody will say yes. All right then, now let's go straight to what is happening in Nigeria. Now let's start it from this point. We'll come to Tinubu's certificate, but let's start it from, because I know by this time some people are suffering or are bracing themselves because their businesses are suffering because of the power outages there. Anthony Adedeji, massive good morning to you. Consumers are alleging a sabotage as grid collapses worsen outage. Now, I've been talking about this, that don't you think that the fact that Nigeria up to now has not, I mean, the gas that Nigeria produces, they sell gas to even Ghana, as the West Coast. There are lots of the countries that they sell gas to and then give electricity to Niger and other places. Now, why can't Nigeria, the powerhouse of Africa, not have enough power for themselves? And I've been talking about the fact that I think those who are in the what do you call it, the apartment neighbor industry are the ones, or they can do anything to sabotage it, because if the national grid is going to be on, that means that it's going to be actually affecting their business. So, Yomi, is that what the consumers are saying in Nigeria today?
The consumers are ready to pay. Let's put it this way: many Nigerians will be ready to make the full payment for electricity if it is given to them. But the question is, why is the consumer now thinking that there might be like a sabotage as the grid collapse has worsened outrage? We know that the Nigerian Power Consumers Forum that have now come out to condemn, the spark of disturbances on the national electricity grid and the most recent fire incident around the power transition infrastructure. The NPCF's convener, Michael Oka, is now raising a concern in a statement that was issued in Abuja yesterday. This was coming few days just after the Transition Company of Nigeria stated that for 400 days, the grid had been relatively stable, but from independent assessment, which started last year and up to this year, the forum was unable to confirm the various initiatives the Transition Company in Nigeria deployed to stabilize the grid, including the use of Internet of Things and deployment of stopgap. The question is, if we now have sabotage within the system, then we should be very, very concerned, because when you sabotage the electricity, you are definitely sabotaging the economy and the country itself. But from what we can say, that from Jaji, where we have 330 kV, these have caused nationwide outrage, and the question is, what is the government going to be doing to solve the problem of electricity? It has been going on for decades, and it seems that much investment will be needed in that particular sector.
I think that the electricity is a very lucrative. I mean, there is a demand there already. So I don't know why private investors are not trying to throw their cap in there. What do you think is putting people off by not getting themselves involved in it? Because, like, in this part of the world, we have various electricity providing companies, and there is that competition, and they have the regulator that try to control them and stuff like that. What do you think? Why do you think up to now there are not individuals or private entities interested in investing in Nigeria's electricity?
Well, again, it's all about the investment. We need a lot of investment, in that particular sector, and investors need to come in. I remember that on the stock market in New York, the president was telling investors that they should come into the country and invest. But the concern about investors is, when we come into the country and invest, are we able to pull our money? It says that bottlenecks have been resolved, money can be pulled out. When you look at the power electricity in UK, you will know that the French company have invested so much. Mm-hmm. We will want something similar as well in most African countries and Nigeria. But the question is, who is ready to put in billions of dollars into a project, and then they'll be able to recoup their investment? But it seems that what the president is saying, the still ongoing sideline of the United Nations General Assembly, is that investors should come in and they'll be able to pull their money out. Okay, so investors should come in. So let's take the next story pertaining to South Korea being interested in Nigeria's lithium. Thank God, Ghana too got lithium in I think somewhere in the central region, and Nigeria has got lithium. So virtually, Africa, when it comes to Africa, we've got everything, but we are the most impoverished in the world. Now, he's calling the South Koreans to come in. Now, what are they going to do? Just
I mean, take the lithium, the raw material out, and just take it to South Korea to develop and do whatever? Or are they going to be coming in, having a negotiation with them and saying that, look, we need to develop the lithium, okay? If you are going to produce battery cells or whatever things there in electric cells or whatever in Nigeria, so I mean something of the sort. What did he say further to that?
Well, again, I don't think we have what it takes to, we have the raw materials. That is something that Africa have. We have them in abundance. I was actually saying this morning that the northern part of Nigeria can produce electricity because of the amount of sun in that part of the world today. Yeah. And when you look at the African Union, we have 55 African Union compared to 27 from the European Union. Mm-hmm. And I was asking that if northern part of Nigeria was meant to generate electricity to African countries, how many countries do we think that we can supply? And to my surprise, many people say that, we can actually supply up to 20 countries, but again, we would need the right equipment, we will need the right infrastructure, the research center. So when South Korea is indicating interest in the Nigerian lithium, well, not that Nigeria cannot make use of it, but we do not have what it takes to convert that lithium for the usage. And let's go into it. According to the South Korean government, has now indicated interest in the Nigerian lithium deposit, according to a statement that was issued yesterday. The statement that was signed by the Deputy Director of Information of the Nigerian Ministry of Solid Minerals and Development, Alaba Balogun, disclosed that the Nigerian government had now engaged the South Korean government at the 17th Korea African Economic Cooperation Conference in Busan in South Korea. And according to the statement, the engagement will focus on revising the 2006 Memorandum of Understanding between Nigeria and South Korea on investment in the solid mineral sector. South Korea doesn't have the mineral resources, they have the technology, they have what it takes to produce it, probably then sell it back to Nigeria, but we would have to give away that resources to South Korea to help us in developing it. But the statement noted that the Nigerian team comprises officials of the Ministry of Solid Minerals and Development and the Onando Mining Company, while the Korean Institute of Geoscience and also the Mineral Resources and the Korean Mine Rehabilitation and Mineral Resources Corporation were represented. For 63 years, we didn't have enough research center, and maybe this is something that the future government will have to look into so that we can convert what actually belongs to us as a resources and then sell it off. But it seems that South Korea, just as many other countries around the world, are more interested in the solid minerals. Again, the Director General of the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, Dr. Abdulrazak Gaba, was actually represented by the new minister of the new solid minerals minister, Dele Alake. A lot of Nigerians thought Dele Alake would be the commissioner for information, or the minister of information rather, because he was a very allied and working with the Bola Tinubu when he was the governor in 1999. But according to what Dele Alake said, he actually put his interest to the president that he wanted to handle that particular sector. So let's see how that sector will be managed as the government is now going into more days and months, and many Nigerians will be expecting some kind of changes when it comes to our mineral resources from the northern part to the middle belt to the northeast, northwest, southwest, and southeast to make Nigeria great. For those that believe in Nigeria, because I am definitely not one of them anymore.
Listeners, he's not one of them, but we are still going to be bringing you everything that we need to know about that geographical area known as Nigeria in West Africa, right? And everything that is happening on the African continent. But the question has been that we have all these minerals, like we said. I mean, if we were actually, if you're having good negotiators to see to negotiating that we will not, sell this to, them, and then we will be making what, maybe 10%, 15%. But if we say, okay, yeah, we got it, So maybe 50-50. Or maybe 60-40. I don't know whether we don't have good negotiators. But well, listeners, that is something that you need to talk about. It's Mr. OLAYOMI and North London Studios. I'm actually here in the South Studios. We are bringing you updates from Nigeria. In the background, you can see Mohbad's placard and people going around demonstrating. A candlelight vigil that's going to be taking place today. But apparently,
it took place yesterday.
Apparently, they were dispersed from the Lekki toll gate. Why? Were they causing traffic? Why? Were they destroying properties? And then the question now comes up that why? What was the cause of death of Mohbad? Yomi.
I woke up this morning because I slept a little bit early, yesterday. I'm waking up this morning to pick up news that what led to a candlelight procession for Mohbad that was, there's still allegation, but we have to still wait for more report from the Nigerian authority. While we dispersed Mohbad sympathizers with tear gas at Lekki, this is not a response from the Nigerian police. I've seen a particular video where a young girl was, probably, I believe, the canister from the tear gas affected her legs, and we hope, she's now taking treatment. But the Lagos State Police Command has said that it actually dispersed sympathizers who gathered to mourn the death of late singer Ireoluwa Aloba, also known as Mohbad, at the Lekki toll gate to forestall a recurrence of EndSARS saga. The question is it the right way, to put it, or should it have been done in a way that everyone, will be told to go back home? But again, many Nigerians are now asking the question whether yesterday was also hijacked. Because remember that there's still tension from the election. And if you ask an average Nigerian, they will say it seems that some political parties are trying to hijack, what is a peaceful candlelight for Mohbad. And some are saying that they want to take advantage and burn down Lagos State just like it was done in 2020. But many Nigerians are saying that the police handling of the issue should have been done properly. That shows that in 3 years after the EndSARS, it seems that the Nigerian police have not yet learned lessons when it comes to gathering of protesters rather than using force to get them out of the street.
It's quite an interesting one. There. At what point that the police have to go in to be doing all sorts. But interestingly, Mohbad's body has been exhumed, his corpse has been exhumed, and a nurse has been arrested because apparently she was injected by a nurse before her demise. So what happened?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I lost it.
Now, I was saying that his body has been exhumed. The remains of Mohbad has been exhumed. And a nurse, the police are saying that a nurse has been arrested.
Yes, the nurse was the one that gave, from what we are being told, the nurse was the one that gave him the injection. Let me put it this way. In Nigeria, many Nigerians are used to getting injection. Any little things you are injected. And I think, it's just what we believe in. But the question is, was the nurse that gave the injection, was she well qualified? Was she capable of that job? Or was it just what we call local sister nurse, which we have a lot of them? These are people that probably they've been told to leave the job, which I'm going to take you back to another story or article rather that is coming from the UK is now concerned that the nursing center in Ibadan is now becoming a fraudulent center. And if the UK Nursing Council is raising concern over widespread of fraud in Ibadan center, which I'm going to come back later, the question is, was this nurse still in practice, or was it just whatever it could be? But the police have now arrested the nurse that gave Mohbad the injection that we were told probably went wrong. But again, we will have to wait for more information from the authority in Nigeria.
Well, listeners will be following that very, very.
And if I can link that now to the other story,
go on. Yeah.
Which is coming again, the Nursing and the Midwifery Council, right here in United Kingdom, say that there is now evidence of widespread fraud at the Unique Technology Test Center, Ibadan, southwest of Nigeria. This is following the alert that was raised by the Nursing and the Midwifery Council in May this year, that the registration of a total of 512 Nigerian nurses and midwives who passed at the CBT center in Ibadan could be fraudulent or incorrect. Not a very great news again for Nigerians, especially those that are honest. But when you have a test center that is being used as a fraudulent center, everyone will be affected. Consequently, the Nursing and Midwifery Council have now notified those who sat their CBT at the Unique Center that it needed to probe their data, and that means that 512 people that must have traveled out of the country, or those that are still processing their document to come and work in UK, your details will now be probed, because the Unique Technology Test Center is one of the centers where Nigerian nurses and midwives who wish to practice in the United Kingdom take a computer-based test to assess their clinical and numeric competence. The council, in a statement yesterday, said that investigations show that while the majority of individuals who sat their CBT at the Unique Center are considered to have joined the register fraudulently, there is evidence of widespread fraud at the center. Again, it's almost the same thing now, as the president is still trying to stop his academic report from Chicago. You can see that Nigeria is not getting it very good. And let me just go straight before I come back into the studio. Academic record has been delayed, article request, but Tinubu tells the U.S. court that if you allow my record to come out, it might not be on a great terms. This headline says, there is now severe, irreparable harm will be done to me. This is coming from President Bola Tinubu. If my Chicago University releases my record, Tinubu is now begging the United States senior judge.
Listen, as a Star Radio UK, we'll bring you everything that you need to know. But it's quite an interesting one. We're looking at the nursing issue and the exam, the test center in Ibadan that we're talking about, that now concerns have been raised about it. The nurse who injected Mohbad, and now as to whether she was part of those who graduated from there, as to whether even she's got the qualification. As a sort of mine will tell me all the time that there are some people in the nursing, she works in the NHS here, and say there are some people who come. It's not talking about those who come in from Africa, but other parts of the world, and you see blatantly that they don't know what they are up to. They don't. So, as to whether the certificates that they have are authentic or not, whether they've undergone those training or they are there just to be observing things gradually and then get in there, we're not very, very sure. But the president says that, I went to Chicago University, whether I was a male or female, whether I've metamorphosed from maybe trans, what do they call it?
The question is, you'll be wondering why he doesn't want the result to come out. If there's nothing hidden, even if you fail, we are not perfect individuals when we are at the university. Even if you have to retake some of your exams, we've seen people that have even dropped out, they've gone back. We've seen people that were in their 70s, they've gone back to university. So the question Nigerians want to really know is, why is the President Bola Tinubu hiding his result for us? Atiku wants to expose that. Bola Tinubu is begging the U.S. judge not to allow such to happen.
He's talking about irreparable, severe and irreparable harm will be done to him. I failed my exams. This is my certificate, or this is that I went to that particular university. What's wrong with that? I'm doing it. I'm making it now. So what is wrong with that? I don't get it, unless there is something very, 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 very fishy that is going on. This is
why Atiku wants to really get that record. President Bola Tinubu pleaded before the United States judge to save him from suffering severe and irreparable damage by placing an emergency hold on a recent order. There was another emergency hold about 9 p.m. local time, 2100 hours yesterday, as the university record to be released. It was meant to be released yesterday, but again, the lawyers, I don't know how much dollars they're spending with these lawyers. It seems that the lawyers are making good money, between the two candidates. But both of them have got the money anyway. Mr. Tinubu said the damage it will suffer will be impossible to mitigate if the September 6th order directing the release of his academic record to the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is not delayed for possible vacation. Severe, irreparable harm will be done to Bola Tinubu if the record are released. But Atiku disagreed. Mr. Abubakar application was granted on Tuesday, but as we speak right now, the Chicago State University officials have insisted that Mr. Tinubu attended the school, which has been confirmed, but they also couldn't authenticate the certificate under the oath. The university has no reason to hide a certificate, but the question is, have there been a kind of Oluwole certificate? Because we know that Oluwole was a location somewhere in Lagos where document was forged, and they were really, really forged that most Nigerians used it. But it seems that Tinubu says, please, for damage purpose and harm, do not allow Atiku to get hold of this result. If Atiku get hold of the result, 200 million Nigerians would definitely know the outcome of that result. Will that result really tally with what Tinubu has been given to INEC, in the previous? That again will be a question that everybody will have to check. It's not about whether it was a male or female now. It's all about the authenticity. And again, it's not the first time many Nigerians are experiencing that. I experienced something similar when I came in. They couldn't confirm where the West African Examination Council Board was here in UK. And I was told that result cannot be really verified. And that is why when you're coming to study in UK, you will be told to do another English test. And if you now go back again to the Ibadan Test Center, you can see that we are not getting a very good from what is happening when it comes to our qualification. Africans are well read, we know that, but when it comes to malpractice, let's talk about the young girl that manipulated everyone and told us that she passed her JAM, only for us to realize that the JAM was never passed in the first place. This is part of what Nigerians are saying. Maybe Chicago should release that result, and maybe this will bring proper sanity to what we call examination results.
Well, interestingly, that lady, that girl, she used Tinubu's a defense that, look, you cannot release my result. You cannot do anything about it. I mean, maybe she's not got money to go to the courts like Tinubu has got. But listeners, it is STARR Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. If you are interested in what we are talking about, you want to have your take, may post it on our Facebook page or YouTube channel or any of the platforms that we are broadcasting on. And I promise you one thing for sure, that we are going to be touching on it. I am Archie here in the South Studios and Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI in the North Studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now, AMCON Managing Director Ahmed Kuru, gave the advice. And what advice was that? That AMCON asked ARCHIE chairman to present 300 billion naira debt repayment plan. What was that money meant for? Why did they come, or how did they come by that debt, Yomi?
Let's first give you the background of what AMCON is. That will probably give us a bit of understanding to what we're going to be telling Nigerians and those that are listening to us in different parts of the world. AMCON is the asset management that is the asset management and corporation of Nigeria. That is the full meaning of AMCON. Many individuals have used their leverage to take out millions of naira out of the banks in Nigeria to build their businesses, but to return the money is a big problem. So AMCON job is to find those individuals as an organization and then bring them to book, so that whatever you are owing, if you cannot put the money back, then we will come after you. So AMCON was created for the purpose of efficiently resolving the non-performing loan, NPL, asset of banks in Nigeria for related matters by the virtue of AMCON Act 2010 by the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The corporation is empowered to dispose of managed asset for the purpose of fulfilling its functions and objectives. Now, the question then is, how many organizations, how many companies out there in Nigeria have literally used, money from the woman selling pepper, from the normal layman that put their money in the bank and then they take the money out. Now, this particular one has got to do with ARCHIE Air. ARCHIE Air was traveling to not just London, it was going to different places, but it seems that their stakeholders have now blasted AMCON MD over the debt claim. It's not just ARCHIE, there are so many stakeholders, but we will dialogue with AMCON before investigative authorities, the ARCHIE shareholders, is saying this morning. Lagos shareholders of the ARCHIE Air Limited have now dismissed a statement credited to the management director of the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, Alhaji Ahmed Kuru, on the destruction of ARCHIE by AMCON and its receiver. The shareholder in a statement, however, described Kuru's comment as desperate attempt to misinform Nigerians and also to distort the fact, adding that it was open to dialogue with AMCON. The question is, how do we retrieve billions of naira home to Nigerians when organizations are not repaying back the banks? That is where AMCON comes in and try to find how they can take the money back. But again, as usual, it is not just ARCHIE. There are so many organizations that have, AMCON is talking about almost 240 billion naira that they are trying to take back from ARCHIE Air. STARR Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Well, listeners, it is STARR Radio UK. As Yomi said, yes, it is the Friday edition of the morning show. 11:33 the time, and I'm Archie.
And just to wrap that up, AMCON has been able to take at least about 70% of the bad debt from the information coming again on that particular story. Okay, so they've been able to, get up to that amount from them, which is quite... That is not mismanaged again.
It's quite an interesting one. We hope that the money is in an account sitting there, not like maybe when we say show us the money, say some snake is swallowed it, we need to get the magician to cause it to throw it up or vomit it. Well, listen, that's STARR Radio UK. Now let's talk about security issues, and then I will leave you to look at it. Now, the Army has reiterated the need for battle-focused training to combat security challenges. And this is pertaining to the commander of the South-South Operation, Delta Safe, that is Abdul Salam, who is a land component commander. He's calling for a retraining of the military. That means that whatever training that they've got so far is not adequate enough to combat the insecurity in that country. So Nigerians should be very, very afraid, because if the training that is being given to the military is not adequate enough, then what should the poor man or the common person in Nigeria do or be? Yomi.
Again, when it comes to the insecurity in Nigeria, we know that we have new security chiefs and the new president is trying to put everything in place, to make sure that Nigeria is well secure. But let me tell you what I picked up from the ABC News in America. This was 2 days ago. Severe security forces killed in an ambush by gunmen in Nigeria in Southeast. I've actually seen the videos of, Nigerian military being killed in Imo State. We're talking about 4 of them. Their rifles and everything was scattered away. These actually took place. But again, gunmen opened fire and killed several members of a patrol security force in Southeast region. This was on Tuesday this week. The one you're talking about is the Nigerian Army promise to track down killers of the same JTF team members in Imo State. Also, the question is, intelligent gathering is very, very important in every security situation. what is the new security chiefs going to do differently so that Nigerians will be able to give them the kind of information that they need? Because you need the population, you need the civilian. Remember that when we had the case of the young boy, or the young man rather, that was able to find his way out of the prison cell, it was the citizen that actually gave the information that was used to track him down, and is currently now being held back in the Belmarsh, maximum prison. But the question is, the Nigerian army has promised to track down the gunmen that allegedly ambushed and killed 5 of his personnel of the Joint Task Force. The question again is, were this Joint Task Force making a way to a location that is well familiar with? Because sometimes when you move security personnel from different part of Nigeria and you bring them into a particular area that they are not familiar with, you could end up having a very, very situation like this. Again, it's not the first time that Nigerian security have been ambushed. It's just that Nigerian security continue to get into this kind of situation as well. Once again, this is STARR Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Well, listeners, just bear with me. My camera is gone off, but it's going to come on in the next few moments. But Yomi,
this is STARR Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we continue to give the update from Nigeria. As we say, we hope that in Nigerian security, we put the measures when it comes to protecting the innocent civilian as well.
Okay, listeners, it's STARR Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We go to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria and on the social media. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, let's go back again, to some of the, other news coming out of Nigeria for now. Once again, my name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and as we continue to give you some of those headlines as we have it right now. Again, the Central Bank of Nigeria have literally now postponed the September MPC. What does that mean? We know that this new administration is trying to be different from the old guard. The Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday have now announced the indefinite postponement of the September edition of its bi-monthly Monetary Policy Committee, MPC meeting. According to the spokesperson, Issa Abdulmumini announced the postponement in Abuja in a statement yesterday. The meeting was earlier scheduled to be held on the 25th and the 26th, but the MPC of the CBN has deferred it now to the 293rd meeting scheduled for Monday and Tuesday. A new date will be communicated in due course. Remember that when Emefiele was there with the previous administration, we couldn't get as much information when it comes to the auditing of the central bank from 2015 up to Buhari left, last, May. This May when the new government changed. But again, with the new CBN governor in place, Nigeria will be expecting, how do we bring down the foreign exchange? For the first time, the dollar is now 1,000 naira to $1. And again, remember that this new CBN governor rise to Nigerian challenges. What are the challenges? The Nigerian president has nominated Olayomi Michael Cardoso to be the next governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria as they continue his attempt to reform the Africa's largest economy. But the appointment comes at a time when Nigeria is grappling with what we call the macroeconomy, difficult on front line, according to economic intelligence Teniola Tayo. Led by the Office for the Strategic Preparedness and Resilience in Abuja, spoke at the African business that the due list for the new central bank is to definitely long and fill with tough tasks, including fixing the relationship between interest rate and inflation. We know that inflation in Nigeria has gone over the roof, just as the governor of England here yesterday, the Bank of England was telling us inflation will still be remaining the same. But Again, many Nigerians are worried, they are concerned. The cost of food have risen, and the reason for that, again, is the subsidy has been removed. But there's another news coming out that subsidy was paid out. I would like to still confirm that that is in news, because if we are told that subsidy has been removed, but we are now getting information that subsidy was paid again, the question is, what is actually going on? But again, as usual, the vice president is still telling Nigerians that God actually ordained Bola Tinubu presidency. Many Nigerians, many Africans, we believe too much in God. Whether that is right or wrong is individual views on that. But let's go straight into that headline. According to the Vice President, Kashima Shettima, said that God actually ordained Tinubu presidency, but some politicians can be better than them, according to him. We do not occupy our positions because of our physical prowess, or certainly not because of our pedigree. There are people of superior pedigree than us, stated by the Vice President. It is a gift from God and a call to serve humanity for a very short span of time. So that is part of what the self-determinations are saying, that Tinubu is only going to be there for a very, very short period of time. The maximum is 8 years. That is even if he doesn't lose the election at the second tenure, because we know that this first term, Supreme Court will have to wait. But if everything goes in accordance, by 2027, this same government will be coming out again to tell Nigerians to vote for them. If he gets the second vote, that means Tinubu will be able to fix Nigeria just for 8 years, and the next government will have to come up again. And this is something that the Yoruba people have been saying, those that are campaigning for self-determination, says that as much as there's nothing wrong for Bola Tinubu to be the president, Tinubu will only be there for 8 years maximum. I don't think he would like to do the same thing that the Kenya president is trying to do now, to run for the third term. So we'll have to wait and see. But the vice president stated this when he actually hosted the University of Ibadan postgraduate school alumni, according to a statement by his media, Stanley Inwokocha. The delegation also include members of the 1989 to 1990 set of the National Youth Service Corps, with whom he served in Calabar. Many Nigerians would like to know the same thing with the president, those he actually went to school with, from primary, secondary, up to university. But again, it seems that that is not happening anytime soon. Let's take you back to one more headline, then I'm going to go straight to what is happening on the social media as we continue to monitor the cultism in Ogun State. We talked about it yesterday. We hope the new system that is going to be put in place will be able to curtail some of those atrocities, because we're going again into the weekend. We do not want to come back on Monday and be giving news that many innocent youth were killed over the weekend. Last weekend was a bloody weekend in Shagamu. 24 innocent Yorubas, Nigerians, were murdered in cold blood. I've seen those images. They are very gruesome. 3 of them are secondary school. We are praying again that the authority should do everything possibly best to keep security across the country. As we now go straight to the social media, there's been a lot, and the focus, as much as it's going into the death of Mohbad, the question is, how many more injustice is taking place in Nigeria? There's injustice when it comes to not having a good education. There's injustice when you don't have a good health care. There's injustice when your well-being is not being taken care of by the government. There's injustice when you are being marginalized. There's injustice when there's no freedom of speech. But many Nigerians today are now talking about the injustice on Mohbad. Let's talk about Morakinyo. At Morakinyo_Akin, I keep saying Nigerian youth will continue to die from the Nigerian police bullet until they confront these terrorists in uniform and get their freedom once. You ain't ready? But again, this is coming from DJ Switch. Remember that she was part of those campaigning towards the NSAS. She was one of the DJ on the ground. She was the one that made the recording on her IG. But again, her life was under threat. She has now fled Nigeria in a safe haven. She actually said again yesterday, was just sent a clips from the Lekki, and this is already giving me the PTSD. let me say this. Many Nigerians do not understand what is the PTSD. PTSD is when you go through trauma.
Yeah.
Many Nigerians have gone through trauma in the past, and in 2020, that trauma is what we call the post-traumatic stress disorder. But in Nigeria, they say that everything goes. Many Nigerians still disagree with her, and I'm sure when you look at the comment under that particular post, some will say that maybe PTSD is a witchcraft from a village. Some Didiri already have their press release to defend this evil experimental called Nigeria. My heart goes out to those hot at Lekki. Dear Nigerian failed state, one day you will put this stunt, and instead of the crowd running away from you, they will run towards you, and that day will be the start of the revolution you are so desperately trying to call. So you can see that DJ Switch has put out a message, and that message has now been viewed 472,000 times, and it has also been retweeted 1,465. And it seems that many people love that because it has actually gained 4,375. And the other headline on the social media is Ikorodu is trending. We know that Mohbad is from that particular region in Ikorodu, but also Chicago University. I'm sure the Chicago will be thinking, how did we get to this situation? Because when it comes to situation in Nigeria, they've been bombarding the authorities of the Chicago, but we'll have to wait for whatever is going to happen. Also, Nelson Wike is trending. And one particular name that has come up continuously, two names rather, Naira Marley and Sam Larry. There's a young man that came out and said, I might look like Sam Larry, but please, I have now to go out with my identification because I am not Sam Larry that you are looking for. But what we are being told right now, Sam Larry is currently in Kenya, but we hope that as the Nigerian authority have now invited them, both Naira Marley and Sam Larry, for invitation. If that invitation is not there too, now they will be declared wanted. But for now, they are only being asked to come and speak to them. STARR Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we say, Tani Olong is still being held after months for his speech that he was kidnapped from Ibadan. It seems that every 3 weeks or thereabout, we have something trending in Nigeria. Currently, Mohbad is trending. How soon this trend will continue, we don't know yet. But what we can say is, may Nigeria not happen to us. I return back again to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, I tell you can't get this anywhere apart from STARR Radio UK, and that is what we're doing exactly from Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI and North London Studios. I'm actually here in the South Studios. Now, those of you who don't know PTSD, yes, post-traumatic stress disorder. So that lady remembered what she went through during that Lekki toll gate massacre thing that took place. Yeah, so it's not witchcraft. That's why Yomi was telling you. No, it is the atrocity that was unleashed on them by the military or the security agencies. No, they said they didn't do that. But Yomi, Sam Larry and Naira Marley, why are they being wanted, being invited by the police? Why?
Mohbad was signed by Naira Marley as under the labor record until they have problems between each other and that actually fall apart. But the videos and evidence that is out in the public domain says that he was bullied by the same labor record that he was working with until he decided to set up his own labor record. And since these videos and evidence out there has been pointed to Naira Marley, there's no evidence that Naira Marley killed presently right now, but the information out there in the public domain is because of the amount of videos that is circulated. And the question some of us are asking is, why allow those videos to be kept in archives when they should have been out in the public domain? Authorities would have looked into it. At some point, we were told that Mohbad also put a petition against Sam Larry. I've seen a particular video where there was another artist and they were having a video shoot, and the man called Sam Larry was telling the other artists to move away so that they can deal with Mohbad. There's also a lot of evidence of body injuries on his body. So it seems that for now we don't have any evidence to point that they actually have hands in the killings of Mohbad. But because again there was a bit of bullying that took place. And I think that's the reason why the authority. But again, if there's going to be any charges, they will have to also defend themselves. But right now, there is nothing to suggest that they have hands in the killing of the young man.
Okay, listen, it's quite interesting. We'll be following the story very, very closely, and we'll be bringing you everything that we hear. And when you also hear something, why not? Let us know as well, and we will be sharing it with our worldwide listeners. But accountability. Well, Shatima says that, you know what? We are ordained by God. And again, that is what is troubling Africa. We always say that the leader has been ordained by God, the prince has been ordained by God, the imam has been ordained by God, and therefore, even when they are doing something wrong, we don't have to say it because they have been ordained by God. It's a touch not my anointing, and that is what seems to be going on. And so our leaders come in with all the promises and everything that they want to do, and they finish and they are going to say somewhere, like Buhari is saying somewhere, and saying that, no, I know that I made some mistakes then. But who is holding him accountable? Nobody. They will come and do whatever. But I believe that one day we'll get to a place where maybe leaders who are coming in know that they are accountable to the citizens, and therefore, whatever they are doing, they'll be watching it and doing it very, very well. Yomi, before we go.
Well, again, you're quite right. I actually saw the former governor of Anambra State yesterday. He was somewhere in the U.S., I don't know which of the state, walking his dog. And you could tell that he wouldn't have done such in a state that he governed for 8 years. But this is what the politician does better, and throwing the tartan into the face of the Nigerians out there. But again, I'll be back on Monday, where we will give you all the events over the weekend. But again, remember to stay tuned with the Star Radio UK throughout the weekend, where there will be so much activities. But Archie will take over before the money man, Mr. Danta, will be joining us as well, because we need to know how to manage that little resources that is coming through. Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Have a very good morning. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well, listen, that has been Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI bringing you updates from Nigeria. It's been quite an interesting morning, and I hope that you did enjoy that. But if you have any comments, feel free, post them on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, or on Twitter. And I promise you one thing for sure, I'm going to read that. Okay? Now, I promised you that I was going to bring you that music. Yes? Hold on. I'm going to bring that music to you in a moment. But let's take this short commercial or social announcement, and then we will bring you that music. The family and Christian community, friends and loved ones of Apostle Mark Nyako and Mrs. Victoria Nyako wishes to invite friends, sympathizers, and loved ones to the one-week observation at Newman Christian Center, 87 Beddington Lane, Croydon, CR04TD. The event will be taking place on Friday, the 6th of October, 2023, from 6 to 9 p.m. Bus routes 466, 463, Tramlink, Beddington Lane, and then there is free parking on the scene at the scene as well. So wherever you do, make your way there. For further information, please contact Evelyn
Audio. Ó yẹ kó audio jáde nísìn. Báyìí kọ́ audio ti jáde nísìn. Ẹ má bínú, audio ti jáde nísìn. Ẹ ń tẹ́ wà lórí backup channel wa. Ó yẹ kó audio ti jáde nísìn. Mr. Ọlá Adémọ́ì, ṣé gbọ́ mi nísìn? Audio ti jáde because mo ti rí báyẹn tó move. Yeah, ẹ ṣé gan ni. Yes, please, thank you. Now, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ send the TikTok tẹ́ fẹ́ wọlé náà, ẹ send the request. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ engage, ká kọ́ tó bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Tó bá dẹ̀ pé ti Mohbad náà lẹ fẹ́ sọ, but èmi gbogbo ẹ̀ lèmi kó. So, because ta ni Ọlọ́run wà níbẹ̀ nísìn, àríyàn kan tó jáde fún. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yé nísìn. So, the number is +44 7404405917. With the current situation of things tó ń lọ ní Nàìjíríà, kí lẹ̀yin rò lọ́kàn ara yín? Kí lẹ̀yin rò? Mo kí bàbá Olúwatáyọ̀ Johnson. Kí lẹ̀yin rò? With the current state of things. Mo kí bàbá Kítóyè dáadáa. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n rìnrìn àjò yìí fún wa. Kí lẹ̀yin rò lọ́kàn? Kí ni ẹ̀yin rò lọ́kàn? Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò. We have been saying that Nigeria has failed every one of us. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ, mo fẹ́ padà sí ntí DJ Switch tó sọ orí Twitter. DJ Switch. Only this was yesterday, they posted. Only I was just sent the clips from the Lekki, and this is giving me PTSD. Many Nigerians don't know what is PTSD. PTSD. Many Nigerians do not know what is PTSD. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ò mọ̀ tán pè ní PTSD. Many Nigerians do not know what is called PTSD. Many Nigerians do not know what is called PTSD. Kí ló ń pè ní PTSD? Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ò mọ̀. Trauma. Ọlọ́mọ ẹ̀kíyàn rí wàhálà tó bá rí tí wàhálà bá dé. Trauma yẹn lásán ó lè ní big impact. So tá bá ní PTSD. Kódà mo rántí pé wọ́n castigate ọmọ yìí títí. Kódà àwọn kan nírọ́ ló pa. And so on and so forth. Mo ṣàlàyé PTSD lẹ́ǹkan is a post-traumatic stress disorder. Is a post-traumatic stress disorder. Òun ló ń pè ní PTSD. It's a psychiatric disorder that may occur in people who experience or witness a traumatic event. Ṣé mọ̀ pé gbogbo Nigerians ló ní PTSD? How many people believe that? Gbogbo Nigerians ló ní PTSD. Every single one of us has PTSD. And the reason why we have PTSD is because sometimes, especially with the new social media tí ó wà níta nísìn, àwọn nǹkan tí àtẹ rírí tẹ́lẹ̀ tá a gbọ́ rí òun là ń gbọ́, but gbogbo wa ń try láti manage ẹ̀ ni. Ó wá kù bí wọ́n ṣe fi manage ẹ̀ bí mi ṣe fi manage ẹ̀. Many Nigerians today are going through PTSD. And until we are able to say, how do we remove that PTSD? So let's go back again. Kakanti DJ Switch to Solano. She went further to say, son didirin. Kí ló ń pè ní didirin? àwọn tí wọ́n ń sọ pé ẹ ṣé gan ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ìjáyà ẹgbọ́n sókè. Primitive. Only some didirin already have their press release to defend this evil experiment called Nigeria. Ẹ wo bó ṣe gbé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kalẹ̀. Kí ló dé tẹ́ fẹ́ defend in tó ń fún gbogbo wa ní PTSD? Because reason tó ṣe ń fún gbogbo wa ní PTSD ni pé àwa tá wà níta nísìn àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ wà nílé máa sọ fún yín pé ìkan náà ni gbogbo wa. Ìyàtọ̀ kan ni pé àwa ní a bit of the enabling environment. Kí ni enabling environment? Àwọn tó ti lọ ṣiṣẹ́ nísìn wá ṣiṣẹ́ dé àwa send owó sí Nàìjíríà, owó yẹn lélẹ̀ owó tá a máa fi ń ṣe experiment wa ní gbogbo gbà. Tàbá wá send owó yẹn sí Nàìjíríà tán ṣé mọ̀ pé nínú pé a send owó sí Nàìjíríà fúnra rẹ̀ ó tún máa ń ṣe kí ni a tún deal pẹ̀lú wa. Ọ̀rọ̀ DJ Switch yẹn mo fẹ́ ká break it down. Only some didirin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ìjáyà the voice only nínú Yorùbá. Only primitive people are the same people that are now going to defend this experimental, this evil. Kí ló ń pè ní evil? Tàbá ní evil. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi DRS láti Woolwich ní the condition of that country is enough to give people something more than PTSD. Àwọn tún ní tàbá tún rí nǹkan tó ju PTSD lọ Nàìjíríà ni. Because mo máa ń wonder pé apart from pé a gbé Yorùbá nation dání láàárọ̀ yìí lórí TikTok lórí Instagram lórí Facebook mò ń bi gbogbo wa pé ṣé Nàìjíríà lówó? Gbogbo yín sọ pé yes. Òkè tó bá wá lówó kí ló dé tí ìyà ń jẹ wá? Kí ló dé tí a wà backward? Ìjáyà ló máa ń lo ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn backward country. Kí ló dé tá a wà backward? A wà backward. Mọ́tò kan ló tútù ìmọ̀ ibi tó ti ń ṣe kan náà kábíyèsí Elédùmarè Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú wàhálà mọ́tò yẹn ó ti wọnú gálọ́ àbẹ́ẹ̀rí kan náà àwọn KOIKI media team lọ́wọ́ ọba nígbà tó bá ṣe títì mọ́tò yẹn ti já wọnú kòtò tàbádẹ̀ lọ wọ́bọ̀ a máa ní àwa la ní bitumen tó pọ̀ jù ní Nàìjíríà ní Ondo state rather. Now only this evil mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí ètò tẹ́ bá fẹ́ pè wọlé line yẹn wà open so that kí ẹ̀yin náà lè dá sí kó má yẹ pé mi nìkan ni but màá go through comment yìí. Only some didirin already have their press release to defend this evil experiment called Nigeria. Gbogbo wa la ní lọ́ba Elédùmarè Christian nìyẹn ni Muslim nìyẹn ni oníṣẹ̀ṣe nìyẹn ni atheist nìyẹn ni believe in anything ni ó dá wa dáadáa but cherry entity yẹn is an evil experiment wọ́n kàn ń try oríṣiríṣi ni ẹ̀rí ní ṣe South Korea náà need lithium wa eléyà náà need this eléyà náà need this àwọn láàrin wọn wá jẹun wá wọ̀ òkè olúkálukú wá lọ ìjọba go and come. Ó wá ní my heart goes out to those at Lekki, dear Nigerian failed state. Lójoojúmọ́ là ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò ń ṣe pé injustice fún Mohbad nìkan injustice fún gbogbo wa gbogbo ẹni tó ń pè ní Nigerian is injustice. Ó ti fún wa ní PTSD ó ti affect wa ó ti bà psyche ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yàn jẹ́. But there are still millions of Nigerians today. Twitter èmi wà ń bẹ̀ 24/7. Sometimes tí bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ń ṣe màmá wonder pé ṣé ìfẹ́ tẹni sí Nàìjíríà ìṣá ni ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà gan. Tẹ bá dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà ǹjẹ́ Nàìjíríà náà nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ń ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà ò nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín. Àwa là ń nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà we love Nigeria but Nigeria doesn't love us. Only one day you will pull this stunt and instead of the crowd running away mo like ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn mo gbọ́dọ̀ screenshot yìí tó sọ yìí kíyàn tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ Only instead of running away, everybody ma yada, everybody come salo down. Only instead of running away, they will run towards you. Kini ṣòwò rẹ tí ń sọ látijọ́ yìí? Hello. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò sà. Ètò nìyẹn. Ẹ bá ṣe ní kíá ẹgbọ́n sókè. À ń gbọ́ yín. Ṣé wà pẹ̀lú wa? Ọ̀dà ọ̀ sí pẹ̀lú wa. Ó ní instead tí gbogbo a máa ń sá lọ ẹ mọ̀ pé tí wàhálà bá ti dé everybody máa yá dànù. Mo rí skit tí Mr. Macaroni ṣe, mo ti wo skit yẹn. Àwọn máa sọ̀rọ̀ bí òwe ni. Mr. Macaroni máa wà very careful. Kò ní fẹ́ sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan délẹ̀ tán. Torí pé wọ́n ti dé pẹ̀lú òun náà rí nínú Nàìjíríà ń bẹ̀ nígbà EndSARS. Ẹ̀rí bọ́ ṣe bọ́ sí boxer or bọ́ sí wòwò. Instead of you running away, they will run towards you. That day will be the start of the revolution you are so desperately trying to curb. Àwọn òyìnbó táwọn ọmọ yìí máa ń lò àwọn kàwé púpọ̀ jẹ́ kí n lọ wo meaning curb C-U-R-B kí ni meaning ẹ̀? Kí ni meaning curb? Curb. A check or restraining something. So what they are doing right now is they are restraining many people. Muri, I was very surprised that Pastor Shekilen Kwemaye, Tony Nigeria 1999 Constitution is a fraud. Kilorúkọ pastor yẹn, máa múra dáadáa báyìí, ó ní body dáadáa. Tony Nigerian Constitution is a fraud. This country kìnnìkan ó ní followership kan tó pọ̀ gan báyìí. Ẹ lọ túbọ̀ nǹkan tó sọ. Tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ báyìí, wá tún dá padà báyìí. Ó ní kẹ́ fìjà sílẹ̀ fọ́lọ́run. I can't remember his name now. Ó ní kẹ́ fìjà sílẹ̀ fọ́lọ́run. Kọ́lọ́run wá bá wa, kọ́lọ́run wá gbèjà wa. Kò ń ṣe Túndé Bákàrè. Ẹlẹ́nu gaiwé ní Bákàrè yẹn. Ìyẹn ló náà wọn àti Buhari jọ drive tí Buhari Yorùbá ni, is a Yorùbá pastor. Ó máa ń múra dáadáa bá máa wọ sleeveless. Àwọn tó orúkọ ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ sórí YouTube. Tí bá ti ní Nigerian Constitution is a fraud. Ó máa gbé jáde. 1999. Kí ni Nigerian Constitution? Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà yẹn. Mo ní lè play video ẹ̀ because mo ti lo video wọn rí. Wọ́n report page mi. Mo ní lè play video ẹ̀. Mo ní lè lo video yẹn. Because mo ní láti sọ fún ọkọ bá wa yọ. Yes, Adefarasin. Thank you so much. Paul Adefarasin. Ẹ tún lọ gbọ́n kan tó sọ. Ẹni tó jáde tó sọ fún wa pé the 1999 Constitution, that 1999 Constitution cannot move Nigeria forward. All they do is what DJ Switch is saying. They try to restrain you by
curb.
Lẹ́ǹkan sí
Curb.
restrain. Don't go out o. Ẹ má lọ dàlúrú o. Ẹ má ṣe this o. Yes, Pastor Paul Adefarasin. Thank you so much. Shows people are with me today. Thank you so much, every one of you. Especially in time go out in Nigeria. Something must give way for something. If you say you want the Nigeria that is working, how do you hold your representative accountable? Can you hold them accountable? Can you? So, tabani curb, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, to control or limit something that is not wanted. The government should act to curb tax evasion. So they are doing everything to make sure that Nigerians do not come out and ask for their rights. And that is why they have to do what they have to do yesterday in Lekki Toll Gate. I don't know whether it was Lekki Toll Gate, but wherever it was, because one more pull even though I'm a power hidden agenda kan wà láàrin yín especially our more obedient here. There's a lot of information out there. They are still very bitter people. The obedient movement, they're very, very bitter. And they will do everything to pull down the government. But one thing is, it must not be on the platform of Peter Obi. It must not be on the platform of APC. It must not be on the platform of Atiku. It must be on the platform of every one of us have had enough, and that's it. Benny Moria Abdullahi. Many Nigerians still believe that Nigeria is working, Mr. Sadiq. The Indian Nigeria is not working. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo àwọn comment tó wà lábẹ́ post DJ Switch yẹn. Amoda Lele Ogunlere. Why do some of you Igbos Egborode? Only why do These are the comments lábẹ́ page. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to. Yeah. I'm just going to find something to play while I do that. Eleni, why do some of you Igbos always call Nigeria a failed state? This is an IPOP agenda playbook. Why? That is why I said, Moke ni gbogbo òkè long. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ bá ń kí princess àti baby wa, ó dẹ̀ kú tọ́jú wa, Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró tì ẹ́. Wọ́n ní ó ti sunkún nípa Mohbad. You know, his death has had a lot of PTSD on so many people, but Nigeria ti ní PTSD tẹ́lẹ̀. So there's nothing we can do to that. So many Yoruba people what believe the moment you say Nigeria is a failed state, you are either a member of IPOP or a member of Obedience. Let's go further again. Eleni at Deeper Speak, it was all an IPOBic agenda we knew from the word go. Ṣé IPOB ló pa Mohbad? Orí yín ò pé gbogbo yín, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. The bomb bastard. Ṣé IPOB ló pa àwọn ọmọ 25 ní Ṣàgámù? Ṣé àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ló pa wọ́n? Make una dey play. Ṣèbí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ṣe cult láàrin ara yín láti Ṣàgámù lọ sékìtì lọ sí Ọ̀ṣun tẹ́ ń sọra yín nínú poverty ẹ̀ ń sọra yín di big man macho man. Tẹ́ bá rí bó ṣe pa àwọn ọmọ yẹn bó ṣe waste wọn. Fídíò yẹn wà lọ́wọ́ mi kò tẹ̀ ṣe ṣò rárá. Ẹ bá rí ìfun bó ṣe jáde, tẹ́ bá rí orí bó ṣe fọ́ sílẹ̀ látara kíni, látara pé ẹ fẹ́ gbà fúnra yín. But tí àwọn èèyàn bá ní Nigeria is a failed state, eléyìí ní is an IPOBic agenda. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀ pé is an IPOBic agenda, ẹ fún àwọn IPOB ní Biafra, ẹ fún wọn ní referendum, ẹ jẹ́ kó decide fate wọn. As long as tẹ́ ẹ bá ti allow yẹn, it will still be the same thing. Tẹ́ máa sọ náà nìyẹn agenda wọn ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tó lọ ka ìlòmíì. Eléyìí ní one day shall be one day. Kọ́lọ̀ kó wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo wa. One day shall be one day. We are waiting. Eléyìí ní envisioning a revolution where unsuspecting youth awaken to the truth. Influencers like you, once seen as responsible voice, secretly amass wealth to distort their opinion. The day is just one day away from today. On this momentous day, they will confront each of you. It is a day they break free from influencer manipulation. So, eléyìí nísìn, ó ń blame pé ẹ̀yin influencer, ẹ̀yin lẹ̀ ń dá wàhálà lẹ̀. I don't think some of you know the amount of money that have been stolen by your politicians. I'm going to wásílẹ̀ in the next 5 minutes. So that kí ni lọ jẹ lunch mi tí bá ti jẹun tí mo bá ti jẹun tán bá padà wá. Eleni, what is the reason why people are supposed to be gathered there after the candle night for Mohbad? Candle night finished around 8 p.m. Some of the folks are still. Hello, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè. Yeah.
Gbogbo àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń complain yìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ di gbìnì náà ṣe sọ. Because a ní problem ta ní diagnose and identify problem here.
Okay.
Because problem government in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
We sign for regional government. We don't sign for this unitary. We have this unitary system. We are going nowhere. Yes. We care for the minority. That is the only solution to our problem. Nigeria is the problem of everybody. Because Nigeria because Nigeria comes from it's a problem. Yes. Because they are puppets. And the only way that they do better was there.
Kò possible.
It's not government.
Wọ́n náà wọ́n fẹ́ yàn. Mo ti mú fọ́ọ̀kì dání oúnjẹ gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́kùn. So kò dẹ́ ń ṣe pé àwa máa jókòó sórí social media a máa wà ní ojú títì bí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ṣe sọ tẹ́ bá ní ká má wà lójú títì well we will continue in this direction but ẹ wo bí wọ́n ṣe ń àtàkì DJ Switch wọ́n ní pé agenda àwọn ọmọ IPOB ni tó bá jẹ́ agenda àwọn ọmọ IPOB then ẹ ṣe jẹ́ kí olúkálùkù máa lọ so that kí peace lè wà so that èyí tí a fi ń rí ikú àwọn sójà àti ikú ọlọ́pàá káàkiri gbogbo Nàìjíríà torí kò ń ṣe ilẹ̀ Ìgbò nìkan ló ti ń para wọn àwọn unknown gunmen ẹ jẹ́ ká IPOB máa lọ kí àwa Yorùbá tẹ̀lé fẹ́ lọ ẹ dúró sínú Nàìjíríà but ẹ jẹ́ ká IPOB máa lọ tẹ bá ní ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ ká IPOB máa lọ that means pé problem yìí ò ní kúrò ńlẹ̀ o àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹn nísìn problem yẹn ò ní kúrò nílẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn IPOB máa lọ ó dà pé èèyàn kan tó fẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn Yorùbá kan àwọn láìkí irọ́ ti pọ̀ jù wọ́n ò fẹ́ òtítọ́.
Number two, the naira is not dependent on the petrol. Àwa kọ́ la lépo.
Ó yẹ bàbá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mò ń gbọ́ rin.
Naira is just a paper.
Tí wọn náà bá ti lè máa jẹ ilé lẹ́ǹkọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn máa wà òkè wà máa fresh. Ó yẹ gbóhùn sókè ta ló tún wà ń bẹ̀ ẹ ká máa pin mọ́ra wọn lọ́wọ́.
Royalty is peanut, 3.1, 3.2%. After they are taking goods worth of billions of dollars. Yes, that is only way out. We have to diagnose ourselves to know our problem. And our problem is Nigeria, that name.
Okay.
That name not even fund again.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè tó sọ̀rọ̀ the next person.
Orúkọ Nàìjíríà yẹn orúkọ ló ti bàjẹ́ ti pẹ́ ni àwọn politician yẹn ò kí ẹ̀rọ kan pé mo máa ń lọ different states Haúsá ò lè bá wọn bí mọ́mí yẹn ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ó bá jẹ́ Yorùbá Yorùbá we stand Haúsá kan anything tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan kàdá ẹ̀ pọ̀ wọ́n á ní láti pé ká ṣì tì í ibùdó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ilẹ̀ Ìgbò tù wọ́n máa ń support ara wọn for Yorùbá yẹn ká gbé ara wa lárugẹ ká support ara wa yẹn bí àbítí a máa ń pọ̀ nù wọn. Ẹ káàsán nígbà tó ìfẹ́ sọ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tá a sọ ká sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ fúnra wa ṣẹ́ẹ̀rí láti jáde sí síríìtì kò easy lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí kò easy lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí. So the best thing we can do òun ni pé social media yìí ká dìbò sí bẹ̀bẹ̀ because ìkẹ́ tó fi sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé I visited ní 2021 mo lọ sí the entire south east pẹ̀lú south lọ to go and know I'm not 35 years old guy to go and know the problem of this country of that region and then 99.9% àwọn ọmọ Igbo yẹn what they concluded is that there was agreement in Nigeria for dam, wọ́n ṣe máa ṣọ̀rọ̀ náà kò ṣọ̀rọ̀ iná pé àmẹ́rù tètè wọn èdè ọ̀sìn tí wọn nǹkan kìnìkan ṣé báwo wọ́n ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn nígbà yẹn títí tó fi dọ̀rọ̀ ológun dé wọ́n ṣe explain fún mi. Èmi gan fẹ́ kí ó sì ẹni tó ní studio yìí kó fún ara ẹ̀ kó fi táìmù nígbà kan tó ń bá ráyè kan lọ ìlú láìpẹ́ ìlú lọ́wọ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n lé anybody ẹ wọlé tó láìpẹ́ yẹn ẹ lọ wo ìwé ogun yẹn táwọn ọmọ ìbò kọ sínú ẹ lọ wo 174 chapter of that thing. Ṣé bá rí ṣéyàn bá ka ìwé yẹn wọ́n ní ìwé for this country.
ṣe intense ẹni sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ̀ ló sọ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ̀ ló ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mo ní ṣe intense sọ nísìnyí pé àwọn ọmọ Igbo ní south east yẹn àwọn wà more prepared ju àwa lọ mo fi get àárín mo ń gbọ́ sà.
Nǹkan tí mo sọ lé ní the Igbo of today ó ń ṣe Igbo 1960 lọ́nà jagun àbí 1967 o. Ṣé nǹkan tí mo rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé nígbà táwọn boys yẹn tán bá jáde we no go green o we no go green gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Nàìjíríà wá pa wọ́n òun náà fi lọ wò ó pé tèmi pípalẹ̀ pa wá ẹ̀rí wa lójú ọ̀nà ni let us shut down the entire region every Monday. Wọ́n force gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì state all the 5 states tọ́yẹ́ pé wọ́n lọ school lọ́jọ́ Saturday àwọn ọmọ school wọn lọ school lọ́jọ́ Saturday wọ́n tọ̀ pé wọ́n lè no option. Wọ́n force gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì to the asàfihàn náà ti ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ibà yìí tó bá ti dàárọ̀ tó bá ti dọjọ́ Monday ẹni tó bá fẹ́ jáwọ́ mi kó lọ sí Yaba kó lọ sí Yànàpájà kó lòun lọ sí Kàlàbá kó lòun lọ sí Òrìṣà Àsàbà nìkan ló lè rí Àsàbà yẹn kò garanti dáadáa because àwọn pẹ̀sì wọn náà bàbá wọn náà máa wá sí àbọ̀ wá yan ìbọn yẹn ní àbọ̀ so those guys are very prepared wọ́n ti múlẹ̀ yẹn.
so ṣé gbogbo ẹni sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mo fẹ́ ẹni tẹ́ wà ń lélẹ̀ fún wa ní authentic information diluted làwa ń gbà so ní tẹ́ ń sọ fún mi nísìnyí pé mo ò lè lọ sílẹ̀ Igbo láàárọ̀ Monday láti Èkó.
Ọ̀tọ̀rọ̀ mo sọ fún yín. Ẹ̀ka rẹ̀ ní bọ̀dì kó lọ sí Yànàpájà kó dábàá ojú ẹlẹ́gba kó lọ wọ mọ́tò kó lọ sí Òrìṣà lọ́jọ́ Monday àbí kó lọ Kàlàbá lọ́jọ́ Monday. Ẹ̀yin gan ẹ̀dá náà lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ Igbo yẹn God is good Libra. Bàbá mi tó sọ̀rọ̀ mo fún àtọ̀ ọmọdé ẹlẹ́nu. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń dín nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ you can part of Nigeria tìtìrì yẹn you don't even understand yourself. Nigeria is killing everybody. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀ Nigeria tìtìrì ní orí yóò pé nobody is saying as of today pé this is Nigeria of his own dream. Nǹkan tí mo sọ nìyẹn.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ àgbọ̀n kan tó ń sọ Ìjáyà wọ́n mú pọ́ìntì kan jáde tí mo torí pé mò ń jẹun lẹ́yìn ni mo ti jẹ tán nísìn bọ̀ mo fẹ́ gbádùn nǹkan tó ń sọ because ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn sọ nǹkan kan ó ní gbogbo wọn lè jáde a sì máa sọ lórí yẹn bọ̀ yẹ ká gbọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìyàn lọ sílẹ̀ Igbo láàárọ̀ Monday so tí bá fẹ́ lọ sílẹ̀ Igbo láàárọ̀ Monday tí mo dé ibi tí mo ti fẹ́ wọ mọ́tò park ẹ gbé mi lọ sílẹ̀ Igbo kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀.
Wọ́n máa jẹ́ kó yé ni pé ẹ máa búkú tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn o ẹ máa búkú o ṣe gbogbo o. Why táwa náà lè join? Nǹkan tó ń ṣe wà effective. Why táwa náà lè join? Why táwa náà lè pariwo?
Ibi tí wọ́n ti ń sọ pé ẹnu ti wá ó dàbí pé ó sì lọ ní both side kì máa mo fẹ́ sọ pé kòkò mo fẹ́ lo ọ̀rọ̀ pé kòkò.
Tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì bá tẹ̀kì action kankan lórí wọn àwọn IPOB yẹn na go gun person down. Wọ́n máa méjì ọ̀pọ̀ pààyàn lórí Òwèrè.
Wow.
Ní Monday yẹn.
So that means pé àwọn take it serious.
Seriously.
Okay. Èmi gbọ́dọ̀ play devil advocate èmi mọ̀ ẹ̀rọ kan tó wà ní ground agbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ tẹnu wọn mò ń gbádùn yín.
Yes. Tó bá wà ìlú láti ní social media yẹn. Tó bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní lórí social media tá bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ one voice.
Okay, so nísìn tí bá gbọ́ yín dáadáa, engagement wa lórí social media is not bad enough, but a kò ṣe ní láti fún àwọn èèyàn ní reason tí unity yẹn ò gbọdọ̀ work, because ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ṣé reason yẹn ẹ jẹ́ n bi ní kankan ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ṣé tí Tinubu bá parí ìjọba ẹ̀ tán nísìn ṣe fi pé àwọn èèyàn ó máa mú wọn nígbàyà, torí pé kò mú wọn nígbàyà yàtọ̀ sáwa ta ti jẹ́ pé láti rí ọdún mẹ́ta ta ti tẹ̀lé bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho àtàwọn tó wà léwájú wa. Network mo ń gbọ́ yín.
Tí bàbá Tinubu bá lọ ọdún mẹ́jọ ń bẹ̀ tó bá ń lò.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
Gbàgbéjọba alẹ́ yìí. Gbàgbélẹ̀ fàwùsà. Gbàgbélẹ̀ fàwùsà. Èmi àwa Yorùbá ìgbà yẹn la lọ máa ṣe alignment pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò díẹ̀ torí pé agbára yóò sí lọ́wọ́ wa mọ́.
Okay.
Ẹ ká bó bá ṣe máa ṣe kíní ni ká bó bá ṣe máa ṣe kíní ni ká máa ọ̀fẹ́ kíní.
Okay.
People will tell you they don't have anything. I have many friends of Igbos. They don't have anything for the management of Nigeria pé kò sí Nàìjíríà wọn.
Okay.
You still force us to stay inside. Ẹ fẹ́ máa jẹ́ kó yé yín nìyẹn.
Now tí irú àwọn message tá à ń rí nísìn tíyàn kan ní àwọn IPOB agenda ni lọ́ọ́ ṣe fẹ́ da irú rally tó lọ ṣe lánàá nígbà tó ti ní kọ́lùkálùkù máa lọ́lé, kí ló wá dé tí ẹ̀ fi jẹ́ kó máa lọ? Kí ló dé tí a fi jẹ́ kó lọ? Kí ni reason tá a ṣe fẹ́ hold wọn together nígbà táwọn náà fẹ́ lọ? Ẹ bá ń dá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ní tẹ́ ń wò wá ni, because àwọn náà fẹ́ lọ, wọn náà ṣe Nàìjíríà mọ́, a lè fi keep on together tó dìgbà tó bá wá fi ìbọn tó bá wá máa fi lé gbogbo wa ni.
Nǹkan tí Nàìjíríà gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ń ṣe
I think n tẹ́mi rí níbẹ̀ ni pé ṣẹ̀rá àwọn Yorùbá politicians wa, they are very very crafty people, very very crafty. Wọ́n mọ weakness àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, wọ́n mọ strength wa, wọ́n mọ̀ pé the moment tí a bá ní push yẹn gangan ní Ìgbòho, tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ lẹ́nu push yẹn gangan was Ìgbòho, and the only thing tó lè fi ṣe ni pé ẹ má yẹ kí Ìgbòho wà nítòsí torí pé Ìgbòho nìkan ó ń create energy tó pọ̀ jù fún Southwest, so they have to do everything to stop. Ẹni tó bá bá a sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ bá a mute ẹjọ́, ẹni tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nìkan ni kí a máa jọ gbọ́n ara wa torí mò ń gbọ́ yín sà. À ń gbọ́ yín bàbá.
Another thing tí mo find out ni pé level of poverty tó wà ní Southwest.
Yeah.
Àwọn olóṣèlú wa wọ́n ti kó wa sínú state. Ṣẹ́ẹ̀rì àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò yẹn nígbà míì tẹ bá gbé family gan wọ́n lè tóbi 10 nínú family yẹn at least tó bá ní ká lọ mú 1 million wá tí sì ti máa wọlé wá mú 1 million yẹn síta wọ́n fi rẹ́ kó àwọn mẹ́rin tó. So àwọn olóṣèlú wọn nìkan fún ọ pé ẹnà kò dé ní òkun àdúgbò ló wà jẹ́ kó yẹ pé ọ̀pọ̀ èlò ló wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tó ká lọ. Èlò ló wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tó fi ń kọ̀ máa dùn wa. Àwọn páàtì afẹ́fẹ́ ìtọ́jú tó yẹ pé ó ṣe ló ti ń gbà wá láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó yẹ pé gbogbo atáni láti.
Èèyàn kan ní Nàìjíríà up Nàìjíríà bí kí ni mò ń lò. Okay.
Ká ní pé wọ́n fi movement Sunday Igboho yẹn lẹ̀ fún another like 3 weeks nígbà yẹn ni. Gòbé ti dé Nàìjíríà gbà yẹn problem ti wọlé finally.
Wow. Ọ̀dà ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tó ṣẹ̀ wọlé, mò ń gbọ́ yín.
Wọ́n ti rí movement yẹn already pé tí movement yìí bó ṣe ń lọ yìí ó ti dé Èkìtì ó ti dé Ọ̀ṣun.
So ó ti fẹ́ máa rìn kọjá ibi tí wọ́n ò fẹ́ rárá.
So Ògùn àti Lagos nìkan ló kù ń gbà yẹn pé tó bá kí ni.
Azeez mo kí ẹ. Yeah.
Definitely àwọn Èkó.
Okay.
So wọ́n ti rí gbà yẹn pẹ̀lú bọ̀bọ̀ ọmọ Ìgbò ilé tó wà ní tọ́músí ẹ̀wọ̀n gbà yẹn tí second command ẹ̀ take over.
Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes. The second command tó take over gbà yẹn tó jẹ́ pàṣẹ oríṣiríṣi pé violence ni pé if na gun to gun pé káàkó lọ yanjú gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣàfọ̀rọ̀. And then, based on the terrorists that were in Southwest, people are going to fire ballet, that push one part, that so, gbogbo àwọn gómìnà wọn gbà yẹn ṣì ní Mákindé Fáyẹmí láyé ìgbà yẹn gbogbo wọn rò tọrọ wọn fẹ́ sọ ni o. They all saw this thing. Wọ́n rí ọlọ́tẹ̀ ṣe olówó akéde olóńgbà yẹn tó bá fọ́ọ̀mù Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
tó wà effective fún.
Lagos gan fọwọ́ sí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn yẹn tẹ́ bá rántí. Ẹ jẹ́ kí the new person tó ṣẹ̀ wọlé yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ láti ẹnu tiwọn náà ó dà pé kinní kan #justice ẹgbọ́n agbóhùn sókè #justice. Nígbà tẹ́ ti ní orí social media la ṣì ní for now àwa tá a dẹ̀ wá ń ta àwa máa jáde at the appropriate time ẹgbọ́n sókè #justice. Ẹ ti mute ara yín àgbọ́yìn o. Alright, àgbọ̀ #justice mọ́ wọ́n ti àbí justice formation jẹ́ kí mute ìdòní sound yẹn. Justice formation, can you go ahead? I can mute on the other ones. There's a lot of noise from their background. Justice formation, all right. Justice formation, yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
Nigeria cannot work for you. Amalgamation expire. Nigerians will sign for regional government, not unitary system. And this unitary system is not working. If you cannot go back to regional that we sign for, divide the nation, because Nigeria is giving us headache. Nigeria have no foundation. There's no country in the world can survive without numbering your people to know who is who. None of us can be identified by Nigerian system and Nigerian policy.
Like possible.
So how can you be the house?
Consider database now.
The petrol we have, we are not benefiting anything from petrol. Our money is not depending on the petrol. Our money is just a paper, so they can devalue it anyhow. Okay. Because it's the multinational company that are running our crude oil are the owners of the petrol. They only giving us royalty. Báwo ló ṣe mọ ọmọ lẹ́yìn ilé mi? Torí kẹ́mi máa gbẹ̀gún. We have to fight for regional or division. If not, all of us will remain as slaves in our own nation.
Nigeria
is a prison.
Kawa the slaves nínú ìlú wa kò make sense.
We have to break it.
Okay.
Yes, our leaders are puppets. Our leaders are fools. Our leaders are idiots. Nigeria is killing our youth. They are killing everybody. Arúgbó gbádùn ilé ayé.
Níbo ló fi gbádùn?
Ẹ wọ́n sọ fún wa ìpè káwa lọ gbádùn lọ́rùn.
Kò possible.
Nígbà tó òyìnbó ń jí resources, tí òyìnbó manipulate, they surrender right, they become submissive to the Western world. We cannot tolerate the nonsense again.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Yes. If you cannot give us regional to keep Nigeria for the people that love Nigeria, then we have to divide it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ fídíò yìí. This was 10 years ago. Kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n wa Odumakin. This was Channels Television 10 years ago. I've not listened to it. Probably be able to tell I don't know. 1999 Constitution is Nigeria's greatest problem. Afenifere. This was 10 years ago. The former CPC member stated that the 1999 Constitution has accommodated corruption and the likes is the country's greatest problem. In his opinion, a total change, a total change, not amendment, is the solution. Now, what we are seeing every time, ni inu Senate ni pé wá ní wọ́n ṣe amendment. Justice for Mohbad, just like justice for every single one of us. Gbogbo wa ni justice, not just Mohbad. So, ṣó dìgbà tí more people bá kú, lè máa wá justice fún wọn. for 8 months ní Buhari fi ti gbogbo university pa. Let's listen to this. So tẹ́ bá rí wọn ní red chamber àti green chamber tó ń ṣe pàdé pé wọ́n ń ṣe amendment to constitution. You cannot amend something that is a fraud. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ this particular video. Audio nìkan lẹ́yìn máa máa rí anyway, lẹ́yìn máa máa gbọ́.
Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, continuing our focus on just looking at development in the polity, and sometimes you ask yourself, whoa, all these preparations for the elections, what do we expect? How should we guard ourselves?
And again, if you don't know what that this was August 27th, 2013, 2 years kó tó di pé Buhari dé, so that you can all go back and start asking questions. Àwọn ọjọ́ ìtí ń pẹ́ báyìí, kò ń pẹ́. Age ẹni 10 years ago, ó ti yàtọ̀ sí nísìn. So tó bá ní age tó jẹ́ nígbà yẹn ní 10 years, add the 10 years mọ́. So that's why we are saying ọjọ́ ìdúró kò dúró dẹni kankan. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí fídíò yẹn. Mo ń bá yín tẹ́ fẹ́ wọlé lórí TikTok, ẹ máa ṣe sùúrù torí tí bá ti gbé wọn lé lọ́mọ jẹ́ kí audio yìí máa disturb. So ẹ ká gbọ́ audio ìdílé náà.
Agencies saddled with all this responsibility. What are they even expected to do? When you come to Makin joins us this morning, he's the spokesperson for Afenifere. Money. Yeah, interestingly, I mean, looking at all of these headlines, so many parties are registered, and today we see over 10 applications facing INEC in terms of new political parties waiting to register.
That was 2013.
Some of those who have even been registered. But from what you've observed, all this registration, all these calculations, do you think the people are finally going to get an opportunity to eventually, maybe first let their vote count, and then the people who they select or elect will actually be representative?
Especially because not my video, so if sometimes YouTube can pick it up like that and say I work on the videos, I have to keep talking around it. I wanted to take note of some of the things, the presenter Tom Berry. When you go and cast your vote, so my count. Aziz Nkinyi, my brother Ijaya, Aziz ní Miami, Mokente wà ní Houston àti gbogbo tẹ̀bá wà náà. Aziz kan náà wà ní Houston, wọ́n ní Koiki, èmi náà Houston, èmi náà wà, ọkàn máa ń sọ pé Aziz ti Miami, èmi náà wà ní Houston. Now, ìyẹn máa wò pé ṣé Buhari fún yín ní the right result after the election? Ó ní ìwẹ̀ òun fún yín náà ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ní Tinubu, kí lẹ́ ń complain fún yín ọmọ Yorùbá? Àwọn Ìgbò ní àwọn ò fẹ́ kólúkálukú kó pín. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní náà Tinubu ti débẹ̀, èmi ló kàn, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù. Bọ̀ kó tó di pé èmi ló kàn débẹ̀, this was 2013. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà lẹ́gbọ́ sílẹ̀ nǹkan sí.
Representative of the people. Well, looking at the whole scenario, one thing is very clear. I think we are seeing the end of politics in Nigeria. Yes. The way initially, when we were coasting to this level, and when the APC was coming up, I remember General Bangida saying that his vision for a two-party state has come to pass. And initially, the promoters of APC were saying that, oh, yes, we're not going to have two strong parties, PDP and APC and the rest. But after that, now we have seen PDM registered. VOP coming up yesterday, and then about 10 parties now are applying for.
And again, Emma Bino, like I said, I have to be doing, or dear láàrin. The same politicians now don't register a party. I want the same politicians. Àwọn náà wà ní PDP, àwọn náà wà nínú APC, àwọn náà lọ tún máa lọ register, but wọ́n máa lo proxy, wọ́n á lo ẹlòkan. Just like gbogbo wàhálà tẹ́ ẹ rí pẹ̀lú àwọn Labour Party yẹn, and so many of them like that. Kọ́lọ̀ Fọ́rùnkẹ́, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa Yínká Odùmákin, kọ́lọ̀ bá ń dúró ti àwọn ọmọ wọn àti ìyàwó tó wà ní ilẹ̀, I met him, Koiki, jẹun ni, kì í jẹun tá a bá jáde. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa, máa ṣe.
For registration, because the stakes are just too high. Everybody is like, they say in Yoruba land that the day the elephant dies, you see all manner of knives.
Ọjọ́ kú erin, oríṣiríṣi dágà, ẹni tó fẹ́ yọ ọkàn, ẹni tó fẹ́ yọ orí, ìran ọjọ́ kú erin, oríṣiríṣi àdá, oríṣiríṣi ọ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀ máa rí níbẹ̀. Dire ni no ideology behind party creation in Nigeria. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, it's all fraud ó lé ní gbogbo ẹ̀ so tẹ́ bá náà wá justice fún yàn kan léni justice for everybody ni kò ń ṣe yàn kan kò dìgbà téèyàn bá kú lẹ́ máa wá justice fún we want justice for Yoruba people we want justice for Igbo and Hausa people and the remaining 300 and whatever ethnic groups tó wà nínú Nigeria.
Everybody wants to grab this thing and they're not trusting each other that, oh, if I go and join him, when we get this thing, we share it very well. So let me go have my outfit. And that's why you are seeing all manners of parties. But
so tí PDP ò bá lọ, wọ́n á tún ní another party. Wọ́n wá ń fi àwọn party wọ́n fi ń ṣe negotiation nísàlẹ̀ that doesn't come into the public domain. Nigeria is a criminal country.
Personally, the more the parties are coming.
Not literally Nigerians, but Nigeria itself. The foundation is faulty.
You know, the less
DG75, thank you so much for the rose on the TikTok.
People are having choices because they are looking alike, they are talking the same, and like Kaniji said, you see, because and they're coming out promise all kind of things. But Kaniji said that as I grow older, I've learned to watch what men are doing rather than what they are saying, and that's where the rubber will hit the road.
You know, in all of this, trying to look at it, what does this...
Shewari, one thing that, you know, this is what the Yoruba people want us to be doing as well. Kama sọ̀rọ̀ Yoruba nation. I was not the àwọn Chimbele. Yeah, la ọmọ Igbo ṣe sọ pé ọmọ, it is time for action. Ọ̀rọ̀ táwọn ti sọ ti tó. But àwọn tiwa from intent so ẹni kò tí wà enough ẹni ká túbọ̀ máa create the buzz, the awareness. Because this is what they've been doing in Nigeria from 1999 títí di wákàtí. This video tẹ́ ń gbọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ jáde was 2013 August 27 lórí channels. Kò tẹ̀ ní a lot of views because people are not interested to go and listen to something like this. 344 views láti 10 years ago. But problem tán ní yìí ń sọ yìí. Only the biggest problem. Problem yìí kò bá ti save Mohbad tó bá yẹ pé a ti padà sí ibi tó yẹ ká padà sí. Problem yìí ò bá ti save èmi kò bá ti save wọ. But we are carried away with other, you know, afẹ́rífẹ́rí. When the real problem wọ́n highlight ẹ̀ but ta ló máa lọ gbọ́ nígbà tó ṣe pé wọ́n ń kọrin kò kọrin but ẹni tó ń kọrin ẹ fi pé orin tó ń kọ gbogbo wọn lórin tó ń kọ yẹn ló máa fi deliver message fún wa no olúkálukú ló ní talent ẹ but ṣáwọn orin tó ń kọ yẹn ṣe fi pé máa save wa from Nigeria ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò I'm not pointing finger to any one of them but ṣé gbogbo orin tí àwọn artist yẹn ń kọ ṣe fi pé àwọn orin tó lè push spirit wa kí ká jáde sí títì bí orin tí Fẹlá ń kọ àbírò àwọn Lucky Dube ṣe pé yàtọ̀ wà orin táwọn ń kọ léèní ó yá yọ̀dí síta gbé ọyàn síta ṣe this ṣe that òun nìkan ló ń kọ wọ ọkùnrin tí tó lè fún wa ní kind of freedom tá a fẹ́ so they are not really singing the kind of song èmi náà ń jó sáwọn orin yẹn so I'm not putting the blame on anybody I'm just saying category ṣé orin tó ń kọ léèní àwọn orin tó ń kọrin yẹn ṣe fi ìpèrò àwọn orin yẹn ó lè fún spirit kẹ jáde sí títì kẹ bèrè fẹ́ tán yín it's not going to happen and that is what makes people like Fela and àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ different gbogbo orin tó ń kọ léèní nísìn ṣídìí sókè ó yá gbé sẹ́sẹ̀ ó yá gbé sórí gbé sí gbàdí that olúkàlùkù dẹ̀ ń jó sí ó dẹ̀ ń lọ ó dẹ̀ ní ìbà rere ni DG75 sọ pé not at all àwọn orin tó ń kọ léèní àwọn orin tó ń kọ yẹn àwọn orin tí gbogbo àwọn artist yẹn ń kọ gbogbo wọn pátápátá wọn ò yọ ẹnì kankan sílẹ̀ ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà àti Ìgbò ní àtẹ̀mọ́ táwọn Haúsá kẹ́ àwọn Haúsá orí wo làwọn Haúsá yẹn máa ń kọ náà ìgbà tá àtẹ̀gbọ́ èdè wọn àwọn náà dẹ̀ wà nínú music industry èèyàn kan ní lágbájá 2 gbogbo wọn pátápátá àti Yorùbá àtàwọn onífújì gbogbo wọn pátápátá ni mo ti kó papọ̀ ṣáwọn orin tó ń kọ léèní ṣáwọn orin tí iná àgbóró àwọn Àyìnlá Ọmọwúrà àwọn orin yẹ pé o lè lọ bínú ṣe nǹkan tí kò fẹ́ kó ṣe gan ẹ ká padà ká gbọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi.
Mean for us as a nation because initially, as you rightly said, the former president did say he thought we
ìgbà
actually
Jonathan
goes
sì
into
lélẹ́yìí
a
Jonathan sì wà ní
two-party
power.
nation, but now we're getting to see the multiplicity of political parties.
So Babangida olórí burúkú ẹ̀ ló sọ pé òun máa pé two party system la máa lò àwọn náà ló wà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. Okay, Lagbaja was singing against the government and he had problems. Oh, definitely. Government would like nǹkan tó máa ń ṣe. Music would have been able to bring the spirit of Nigerians back to reality. But ẹ lọ gbogbo orin tí gbogbo wa jọ ń gbọ́. As long as a bá ti jó sí i tó dẹ̀ wá okay, everybody there, everybody there wà pa. That's the end of it.
Is coming into the fray or leading up to this particular election in 2000.
Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wò gbà táwọn irú àwọn Fẹlá ń kọrin. Ṣèbí mo gbọ́ interview tí kan náà àwọn follower Fẹlá bàbá yẹn ṣe dàgbà nísìn. Ìbá Amẹ́ríkà lọ ní Fẹlá lọ. Nígbà tó dẹ̀ máa fi kúrò lamẹ́ríkà tó padà dé Nàìjíríà ó di bíi activist. Bàbá yẹn mi gbọ́ nínú fídíò yẹn ni mo wò lórí IG. Bàbá yẹn náà ti dàgbà. Ó ní orin kan làwọn lọ play ní bí Amẹ́ríkà tọ́ọ̀kan lọ. Ó ní àwọn Black Panther ní Fẹlá lọ kó sọ́wọ́ wọn àbí kankan. Gbàtẹ́ dẹ̀ so lòdì porí change. I'm sure pé nǹkan kan náà máa ti gbọ́ interview bàbá yẹn. So tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ léèní pé Nàìjíríà tá à ń pariwo yẹn àwọn orin tó ń kọ léèní ẹ gbọ́ tí àwọn Christian tó bá kọrin báyìí orin bí ẹ̀mí ni kò ń ṣe orin tó lè push èèyàn pé àná nígbàsẹ̀ ìgbàmí tí bá ń gbọ́ èmi láìkì Lucky Dube gan irú gbogbo àwọn Lucky Dube yẹn náà wọ́n lọ fún concert náà wọ́n pè wọ́n fún concert all over the world but orin bíi freedom ó wà lára orin tó ń kọ but àwọn tiwa lé ní nísìnyí wọn kọ freedom bàbá wa tiwa so tù ó ti fíìlì stadium ó ti fíìlì O2 òun nìkan jẹun sókè government UK jẹun sókè àwọn promoter jẹun sókè I mean everybody has different just the same thing so I'm not saying that yes Idris Abdulkarim Ọbásanjọ́ fẹ́ lépa because àwọn yẹn gbóhùn sókè but again kò ń ṣe irú àwọn yẹn nìkan we need a lot of people like that láti jẹ́ ìyẹn la jẹ́ sọ pé àwa náà irú brother wa kan mo ráyè response yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan I hope ẹ ṣe wà lórí program tó bá di 1 o'clock àmẹ́tò ìwásílẹ̀ nígbà tẹ́ ẹ ní tá bá jáde àyà gbogbo wa ń já nítorí pé àpọ̀ tá jáde ni tá bá pọ̀ tá bá jáde ẹ máa fi àwọn ọmọ Fẹlá yẹn sílẹ̀ àwọn yẹn máa ti yà àdúgbò àwọn yẹn máa ń gbádùn ayé màá ní torí tó máa ń sọ ńgbà mí gan mo understand ẹ ṣáà ti mọ ọmọ Fẹlá tí mo sọ yẹn èyí tó máa ń sọ nígbà míì máa ń wọ́ndà pé kí ló ń sọ I don't understand kò dúró síbí kò dúró sọ́hùn kò dúró sójú kan. Kò dúró sójú kan máa sọ africanism kíní kan pẹ̀lú pé a ní kí Yorùbá kọ́kọ́ kúrò inú àtìrátì dájókòó sí africanism kíní kan nígbà tó ń tán travel wọ́n lọ lóyìnbó wọ́n ń ṣe concert wọ́n rówó àkáǹtẹ̀ ó ṣe kò ṣe á ní kìmí kan tó wà níbẹ̀ ó ní foreign account. So tó bá yẹ pé irú ẹ̀gbọ́n tó ní ẹ pé tabájáde kíní no ìyẹn ni wọ́n ṣe lè láìkì Ìgbòho torí Ìgbòho ló ní àyà yẹn ó wá ní àyà àwa tó kọ àdẹ̀ ṣe kí ni àákì tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn ọba ṣe kí ni wọ́n ní gbogbo tó bá gbà ẹ̀ àtàkẹ́ so ọlọ́run ní fi wá sílẹ̀ o so we have just 6 minutes.
2015.
ká tó lọ relax dẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹni kí ni ẹ. wọ́n mọ tó ń ṣe.
àwọn bàbá yẹn ju Nàìjíríà lọ. Can you imagine kí ni àwọn bàbá yìí ti something kọ́ máa jókòó sí power. bàbá ti dementia ń bàjá onígbẹ́ kò make sense.
kò tẹ̀ hard up rárá.
fún nítorí náà ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan pọ̀ wá àwọn ò fẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ̀ kò lè work.
ó kọ̀ keep gbogbo wa backward.
Hausa ló fi decide election. Hausa náà wò fẹ́ civilization. Lórí pé àwọn olówó fẹ́ lajú wọn. Wọn ò jẹ́ kí bàbá yẹn débẹ̀.
Ọgbà o.
Anybody tó bá fẹ́ lajú north. àwọn elite náà tó nígbà. Ẹ diagnose disease tó ń ṣe wá ẹ tó mọ kí ọ. Anything because àwọn Fúlàní ti jókòó lé wọn lórí ní north. Wọn ò lè refer situation in the name of religion. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá fún wa ní religion náà, Nàìjíríà ò lè work. Unitary system is a 419 system. And this is not what we signed for. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin lọ́ọ̀yà wàdà, ẹ̀yin PhD in law, master degree in law. What are you doing?
Well, in terms of
Why you cannot demonstrate your academic skill?
Gbogbo àwọn yẹn tí wọ́n ti wà pẹ̀lú government. Àwọn citizen ò tí mọ̀, gbogbo wọn ti wà pẹ̀lú government.
We have to relate the situation. Army, Agui, Roshi, don't build the unitary system. And gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀lé reverse as a good thing that happen during the good time. Regional ló ti ṣe. Kì í ṣe unitary system. This unitary system that we are practicing together for Nigeria, confusion ni 419 ni. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá lè dá wa padà sí region, èmi dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé nígbà ká pín region náà yìí náà lè máa padà sí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wàá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ẹ̀ ń waste time. Somebody is coming to break the nonsense. Yes. Nígbà tí apartheid wà ní South Africa, gbogbo president tó wá ìkà ni wọ́n bí àwọn Tinubu. Wọ́n gbà tó torí the card tó ní pé ìlú máa fọ́pọ̀. Wọ́n bírèkì ẹ̀, wọ́n gbé Nàìjíríà sórí oyè. Pension wọlé. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá fún wa dé ní Ghana, àbí kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìlú, lè sinmi o. Lè sinmi because the bureaucracy is too much. Àbí kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìlú. Gbogbo àlẹ́ lọ́ máa gbóhùn sókè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ìjà gbogbo wa ni kì í ṣe pé ìjà KOIKI nìkan àbí Yorùbá nation. No, oko ẹrú la wà. That Nigerian name is a fucked up name. Yes, agbádọ̀ break ẹ̀. Amalgamation is lawyer. What are we still doing together? Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ pé after all day here we can renegotiate? As sisters of Nigeria. Báwo lè ṣe wá sọ wá di ẹni kan sọ wá di ẹni tó rí òpin? Tẹ̀sán gbogbo wa ní wèrè. Báwo lè ronú dáadáa? Tọ́wọ́ náà ṣe tọ́wọ́. Fún wa ní common sense, ebi náà ní pa wá. Wọ́n tún kó jẹ fún yín kan, collective ní fún wa jẹ, ní gbẹ́kọ́lá yín bàbá yìí. Agbọ́dọ̀ jáde tán fáwọn bàbá yìí. Time for a change. Yes, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ love Nigeria, mi sọ kẹ́mà love Nigeria. Nigeria can only work under regional. Without regional, Nigeria cannot work. Àbẹ̀pẹ̀. Ẹgbà bẹ́ẹ̀, kólúkàlùkù mójútó àdúgbò ẹ̀. Give us division of labor, break it to pieces. It's too big for one idiot black man to rule. Yes. Owó epo àbọ̀wọ̀ ṣe lọ. Foundation kò sí. Ẹ kọ̀ kó wa pọ̀ bí ẹran. Bí ẹran lè ṣe ń hùwà náà. Hùwà bí èèyàn. Ṣé hùwà bí èèyàn? Ṣé bí èèyàn ṣe ń hùwà lọ́ ṣe ń hùwà yìí? Iná lè ṣe. Omi lè ṣe. Infrastructure lè ṣe. Education lè ṣe.
Zero ni gbogbo ẹ̀. Zero.
Lè sí provide life fún wa ká gbádùn. Lè manage wa. Lè rearrange wa ká máa pa owó. Gbogbo wa kan waste to over 200 million people wasted for nothing. Kò ní ta fún gbogbo yín. Ní sinmi wòtòwòtò. Thank you, KOIKI.
Ẹ ṣe gan-an ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mo mọ̀ bí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Mr. DJ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ fi sọ̀rọ̀ àbí ẹ̀kọ́ fi jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí ìyá Abọ́sẹ̀dé mo kí Ọ̀kọ́yà Afọláyan mo kí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàbá wa Kim ẹ ní justice for Mohbad bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwa náà sọ pé justice for Mohbad ẹgbẹ́ òsókè sà. mo mà kí àwa nìyẹn sà.
In fact, ìjáyà.
Ohun yẹn ni one voice.
Èyí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà tí bá wà lórí platform yìí báyìí. Mo máa ń wò iṣẹ́ ìgbọ́ bí ṣá.
Loud and clear. kò ṣe mí nìkan gbogbo platform ló ti ń gbọ́ yín.
Ṣẹ́rí problem ìlú yẹn, the way I always see it from my own point of view, àwọn religious leaders wà. Both from Christian side, Muslim side, then our youth and celebrities.
Influencers.
Our influencers, yeah. Àwọn ló dá gbogbo ìlú ẹ̀rú. Okay, màá lo sáré lo case study ọ̀pọ̀ tó kù yìí.
Mohbad. Kọ́lọ́mbà fún wọn kẹ́.
I'm a lover of music. Ṣé jẹ́? Beats. Ẹ̀mọ̀ wọ́n níbi táyé bá ti báyọ̀ gbogbo orin tó kàn sí. Basic ló ń pass.
Ebi ni mo sọ nísìn.
Comment section. Fẹlá lè máa ń gbọ́. Ẹ bá wà quiet time yẹn ló gbọ́ authority stealing by Fẹlá. Ẹgbà ọ̀kan tí bàbá yẹn sọ nínú album yìí authority stealing. Ṣé Nàìjíríà àìmọye àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí mo tẹ́ pé I stop talking with them àwọn méjì kan méjì bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ because tẹ́ bá ti lè reason ní because tẹ́ bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí ní because ní proof ẹ má dẹ̀ máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ máa fún yín náà proof ẹ má defend Nigeria. Is Nigeria a country? Nigeria is not a country. It's not a country. You just don't need to come abroad. Then they call North Africa, from Africa, they could say, no, but she is in the if you tell that I know, we'll see that happens. We'll see, criminals go on strike, go on, left out. I don't know how 24 people killed in Shagam. The one is up 1 year. Kò tó yẹ àwọn ọmọ ènìyàn 16 lọ pa. Money your 16. Since one by your 16. So 16 lives. All just like that. A minute 24, only 16. At 16 at 24. Hey, you're the bank boom, Emma, woman, you're actually reaching away. Wow. If you pity one Monday. If you pity one Monday because bóyá ó ní ọmọ tó ń yí brain àwọn èèyàn wá ní ẹwọ báwọn youth wá ṣe jáde sí lẹ́kí lánàá.
àyà mi já aláì.
ẹgbẹ́ adúrú èrò yẹn.
mo dà pé èrò pọ̀ ní mo mọ̀ abájọ́ yìí máa ní 20 million ló wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mo mọ̀ pé èrò pọ̀ tó yẹn kẹ̀.
ẹgbẹ́ adúrú èrò yẹn kò ṣe pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan ló ràn lára wa pé feel fún ọ̀pọ̀ tó kù ìrí the only one 21-year-old girl Bámiṣé was killed in a PRT bus, government bus. My mom, come and send anybody to jáde from where. Our celebrities were won't say anything. Àwọn bàbá wèrè kan tó yẹ kó ti kú tó yẹ kó ti gbọ̀nà ọ̀run lọ. Wọ́n láwọn pásítọ̀ kúmú yìí, wọ́n máa bọ́ta wọn máa ní kí n máa pray for Nigeria. We should endure, pray for this government. Láti lè ṣe dáadáa. Ẹni mo pe platform àwọn people yìí ni wọ́n lò. Mo mọ èèyàn kan tó wà government tí pẹ̀lú ní dárúkọ ẹ̀. Constituency tó wà ní Èkó ló wọ́n fi èdè ní sọ constituency yẹn. Ẹni tí mo mọ̀ dáadáa ni tí mo ní private number tí bá pè é sí.
Ẹ má dárúkọ ẹ̀ ẹ ṣe àràfin lẹ̀.
He said to me that Nigeria is going nowhere.
Everybody knows that ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Ṣé wá rí àwọn youth yẹn nìkan lọ́wọ́ in denial pé náà àwọn youth feel pé àwọn youth yẹn feel pé Nigeria is going somewhere. Nigeria is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
They don't do anything. They are just there to share money.
It's not going anywhere. Ẹ ní gbogbo yẹn láti fún wa ní gbogbo details yẹn. Ọ̀pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní background ní ẹ̀yìn. Everybody knows. Ṣèbí Ṣètìmá sọ̀nà ẹ ti gbàgbé pé mo kà inú Star Radio láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ Ṣètìmá sọ òun ló sì wà wájú mi ó ní àwọn òun nílé the Vice President Kashimi Shettima says God ordained Bola Tinubu, no problem. But Mr. Shettima admitted that though he and his principal are the most powerful men in the country, some individuals are better than them at Igbonye. Follow people. Only we do not occupy our position because of our physical prowess, and certainly not because of our pedigree. They are people of superior pedigree than us, stated Mr. Shettima. It is a gift from God and a call to serve humanity for a very short span. SPAN. That means Tinubu is only going to be there for a very, very short period of time. Don't pè ní span. Don't pè ní span. Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? The full extent of something from end to end. Gbogbo tí Tinubu máa lò tó máa fi lọ lórí private jet Nàìjíríà tó máa fi drive kiri tó máa fi tẹ́rọ̀gì fún. Ọ̀ṣínbàjò nísìn kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń tẹ́rọ̀gì fún mọ́ nísìn. Ó ti padà sí normal person. So Tinubu náà ó máa padà sí normal person, but problem tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé Tinubu máa enrich àwọn kan. Báyé ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. Àti àwọn kan máa lówó. Kò ń ṣe fún gbogbo Nigerian citizen tí ó pariwo yẹn. Gbogbo ariwo tó ń pa yẹn.
I don't know how our people read. No ṣe máa ń reason. Mi bó ṣe reason. Mi mọ̀. Ó máa dùn èmi personally. Ó máa dùn mí personally because mo mọ nǹkan tá à ń benefit ní outside Nigeria àti lè jẹ́ pé foreigner ló wá nílùú mi. Mo mọ nǹkan táwọn ìjọba wọn ń ṣe táwọn ọmọ wa.
Wàhálà oúnjẹ tí mo fi wọ̀nyí lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀ mo lè jẹ tán. Gbogbo tí mo jẹ áàfù ni ọmọ mi béèrè pé ṣé mo ṣọ́ọ̀kù mo fẹ́ jẹun nísìnyí ebi tí ń pa mí gbà tí mo tún jẹun yẹn nísìnyí áàfù ni mo jẹ ń bẹ ẹran kan ni mo jẹ nínú ẹran méjì.
Mo ṣe owó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ nìkan níjẹta tó ní problem ọ̀bọ̀ yẹn kù sí gbèbí gbàdúrà láti. Ìyá ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn nìkan.
Kí lẹ fi ṣeré bí yín ọmọ ìjò yìí poverty tó wà nílé.
In fact, I don't just know. People are suffering seriously.
Ẹ wá fẹ́ káwa máa jáde káwa máa fọwọ́ ra Bọ́lá Tinubu lórí ká máa fọwọ́ ra gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì lórí àwọn pọ̀. I don't know.
Wọ́n gbé school fee láti bí a ṣe 20-something thousand.
25 torí kí ni 220,000 níbo ló ti fẹ́ rí.
Ẹni mélòó ló jáde tẹ protest.
Mo rí àwọn tó protest yẹn gbogbo àwọn tó jáde yẹn wọ̀ tó 10 wọ̀ tó 20 mo kà wọ́n. Kódà àwọn ọmọ ṣòwò rẹ̀ gan ló tún lọ bá wọn fọwọ́ kun àwọn ọmọ Unilag gangan jáde àwọn ọmọ Unilag gangan jáde.
Ibi tó yẹ kó protest sí ibi tó yẹ kó challenge lẹ́láìtì wọn sí they will not do it.
Kọ́dà fún ọ̀run kẹ́ Mohbad.
Kíníkan come and start it kíníkan ká come back on wá ṣe ìyá jẹ́ àkàtàṣà sí wọn lára. Ẹ jẹ́ fi ilẹ̀.
Ẹ ṣe gan-an ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Ẹ̀yin Nigerians, we are not here. I think maybe some of you think that when we come out, we are coming out to attack Nigerians. No. We are coming out to attack the institution that set up what is known as Nigeria. That's number one. We are coming out to attack the politicians that is supporting that institution. Because, like my brother said, Nigeria is not going to be fixed, in another 64 years. Nigeria will not work. I explained that at the lecture this morning. That what they sat down for 2 years, imagine they have to continue meeting, maybe 3 months. I don't know how they were having that meetings. But what we were told that for 2 years, between 1957 and 1958, it took them 2 years to decide what kind of structure they will give to Nigeria. And just like my brother Ijaya, voice one lengbon, what we got was regional government. Are we practicing regional government? Mo sì fẹ́ ká gbọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tán délẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ pé yẹn nìkan la máa gbọ́ kí n tó máa lọ ni ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ délẹ̀. Kò tí sọ̀rọ̀ débi constitution. Gbogbo tó sì ń sọ nípa political party, and I'm gonna allow that to run flow a little bit. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ enjoy it. This was August 27, 2013 rather, on the Channels television. The 1999 constitution is the Nigerian greatest problem. And don't ever believe them when they say we are amending the constitution. You cannot amend anything. gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà lórí platform the link that we posted on the Koiki Media ẹ bá wa gbọ́wọ́ lé is the backup channel ó wà live náà nísìnyí tẹ́ bá gbọ́wọ́ lé mo wà live pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ kẹ̀dẹ̀ follow ẹ̀ because we have good amount of you that are following Koiki Media but you are not following the backup channel so we are saying please abẹ́yìn ni ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ kẹ́ bá wa the link and mo post it sórí Koiki Media tẹ́ bá gbọ́wọ́ lé I am live right there so you're not going to miss anything ẹ gbọ́wọ́ lé and that is the same thing for those of you on Facebook and the other platform as well. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Odumaki lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Isn't that what some would describe as the beauty of democracy?
Well, it would have been the beauty of democracy if it's.
It would have been.
Yes, it would have been if it's about the forces of regeneration coming up. What we are seeing now there is just the same set of people who are splintering, dividing themselves into different formations. In any case, the people who can afford to even say that they want to form parties today are those who have looted resources and funds to play around with. And people can just go to INEC now to say we want to form political parties. When we look at most of the parties that are coming up, new so-called new parties, because for as far as concerned, they are the same old wine in different new bottles, and it's the same forces, the same character, and that's why it's in Nigeria. They say that the more things change, the more they remain the same. So we are talking about new parties, but they're not new. They are the same. In fact, they are more of the same or same of the same.
A lot of people will be surprised that you're saying this when you say they're not new. For instance, let's look at the APC now before we talk about the PDM. The APC that had come together, we have almost 3 political parties, the AC and the CPC and a part of ABGA and even ANPP coming in to form what they call the progressives. They had to put an S there so that you know that they are a whole lot different from what the status quo is. So for the progressives, as they call themselves, are you also saying that they are the same, maybe old wine in a new bottle?
Well, maybe you may get some sprinklings here and there, but when you look at it in the main, I mean, it's all the same forces, and that's why when you look at their manifestos, for instance, hardly can you distinguish one from the other. When you look at what they are saying, what they are promising, all of them the same empty platitudes. And permit my lewdness, if that is it, like a columnist put it very beautiful on Sunday when he said that, look, these are guys who are looking like Casanovas. I want to get a lady to bed and they are promise all kind of things. I buy you a car. I will take you to Mudimun.
This is our brother Yinka Odumaki. Ẹ̀gbọ́n tí ó ti ṣaláìsí kọ́lọ́n kó tẹ̀lé re fún wọn 10 years ago ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìwọ tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ bí lánàá òun sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa work mo kí Yomex graphics mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà lórí ètò tá bá ti gbọ́ interview yẹn tán a máa parí ètò torí mo láti fáwọn méjì tí a jọ wà lórí TikTok láyé but àdílé gbẹ́ anybody mọ́ so ká fi parí ètò yẹn so that kébì náà tún lọ kí lọ re-engine, kí lọ relax, and I do other media work behind the scene, editing, write-ups, calls, messages, and tó fẹ́ béèrè. So we can't be sitting here all day. So we also have to take some bit of time, fresh air, and then we'll come back later. Ìní Friday, lálálẹ́ Friday. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Yomex ní eléyìí ó deep gan. Ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ka sàn gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ̀ka sàn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Akọ́lá Jímọ̀ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí mo kí àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe wa. Pastor Mo Mukiyi, Nigeria is killing our youth. Ẹgbọ́rọ̀ tí ẹ̀gbọ́n wa ń sọ, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa ni, brother wa ni, èmi mi tí wọ́n rí. Máa ń dúpẹ́ pé mo lọ Nigeria ní time tí mo lọ yẹn. I met him when we went to visit Baba Payo Adebanjo. And like I always say, it's a privilege that, I met him before he died. Mo tán gbà tán gbóúnjẹ yẹn dé báyìí. KOIKI ẹ̀yin ò ní jẹun ní àwọn kì í jẹun tá a bá ti jáde èmi máa jẹun tèmi ò lè dádì mú wa but I love him so much we had some conversation like I always say gbogbo nǹkan tájọ sọ is not for gbogbo wọn náà mọ tí olúkálukú wà bọ ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ díẹ̀ nǹkan tó ń sọ sí kó tó di pé a máa tẹ̀síwájú. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń náwó rẹpẹtẹ ẹ̀ẹ́kẹ́ tó lọ ra data 500, 200, 1,000. I wish I have what it takes to have a satellite there, be Elon Musk. Tí màá ní ó yá gbogbo yẹn connect mọ́. kẹ́ lè máa fi gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ dáadáa but àìtí dé stage yẹn ìyẹn la ṣe ni tá a bá gba country tiwa it's going to work like that bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èmi náà máa ń gbọ́ Fẹlá but àwọn ọmọ Fẹlá àdúgbò mi lọ yà sí báyìí nísìnyí àfikọ́ máa n tó má tẹ̀ ń sọgun kò tẹ̀ ń yé mi mọ̀ understand Africanism kí ni kàn wá pẹ̀lú ẹja kúrò ní Nàìjíríà máa sọ̀rọ̀ Africanism àwọn tó máa ń ná àwọn Africanism kí ni kàn wá pẹ̀lú Africanism ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ kúrò káwa wá lọ sort out àwọn tó kù mo kí Ọlákúnlé mo kí ìyàwó Comfort Ológunjà mo kí ẹ̀yin Grandma Grace gbogbo yín mo kí Ìgbòho ṣá má bá wa pẹ̀lú ẹ olówó tó ń fowó ṣàánú òkúkú ń fowó ṣàánú tẹ́lẹ̀ náà ni mo tún rí fídíò kan lánàá mo sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí bá mi I'm sure pé táwọn náà bá wo fídíò yẹn bá wá kàn máa rẹ́rìn ni àwọn tó ti mọ Ìgbòho ti pẹ́ bí 30 years ago nígbà tí bàbá ṣe ìná tí gbogbo wọn tó ń já wọn náà jámájámá can you imagine tẹ bá mọ̀ tí máa try láti lo fídíò yẹn bí lálẹ́ tí bá padà wá lágbára Ọlọ́run ìyàwó mi àni ẹ̀ òun mọ̀ kó sọ fún ọ pé máa wá lálẹ́ ó gbọ́dọ̀ jáde o tẹ bá gbọ́n tí arábìnrin àtàwọn máa yẹn sọ máa yẹn ní àjọ mechanic àjọ ń ṣe mí báyìí ni ó wá lówó tán ní stage yìí ó wá kó gbogbo owó sílẹ̀ ó wá ní Yorùbá nation lòun fi ṣe òun fi yọ ọmọ Yorùbá kúrò ní wàhálà àwọn kan tó wá ní wọ́n ní olè ní lẹ́nu wọn Ìgbòho tí mo rí Prado yẹn ó ní bá mi mọ́tò ìdágùn wọ́n ní coordinator December lẹ́yẹ ká ti lò ó dílà yẹn ló pẹ́ kó tó gbé dé mo fẹ́ fi ṣe Christmas ni wọ́n tún náwó Prado tuntun kò tí ì gbé Prado yẹn látẹ̀tí lọ fi oppress gbogbo yàn no I mean kò tí ì gbé mọ́tò yẹn Prado yẹn kò drive ẹ̀ kúrò Fúlàní dẹ̀ wọnú ilé wọ́n yìnbọn fún gbogbo mọ́tò yẹn pàtì mọ́tò mi à lè rà ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ lọ rà ní ibi tó ti gbé wà ní ìyàmí màmá wọ́ndà pé ṣó lówó ẹ wo àwọn Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà kan mo sọ fún yín sometimes ẹ̀ ní dá chief mọ̀ láàrin àwọn pictures yẹn àfi bí atẹ́bákọ̀ rí ìlà ojú ẹ̀ ó ní ìlà yẹn la máa fi ń dá wọn mọ̀ short nìkan ni ìyàmí màmá bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé ṣó lówó ní Ìgbòho ṣá mi ò rò pé máa ṣó lówó olówó àwọn olówó táwa mọ̀ dágbà táwa ń dàgbà olówó kì í operate bí Ìgbòho ṣe operate yìí akọ̀ṣí lélẹ̀ everybody á wọlé everyday canary á wọlé tí wọ́n ní bá mi ká ṣe Ọlọ́run ló ní gbogbo ẹ̀ mọ̀ mú kankan wá sáyé Charlotte wá sùn lọ rẹpẹtẹ mo rò pé iná ilé Ìgbòho kò kú rí pé tó bá múná lọ iná tó ń lò iná tí Ìgbòho ń lò ó ń supply more than 10 streets I wonder pé ẹ̀wọ̀n pé ó ṣọ́ọ̀kì mi as a diaspora tó lọ gbé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ṣé olówó ni máa ń ṣá ṣé olówó ni máa yìí ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi sọ èmi àti Ìgbòho náà lájọ rí wọn ó yá ẹja gbọ́ ètò kù ká tó máa lọ.
When you look at it, they are just, nothing thought through. No ideology defining all these things. For instance, if you talk about APC, for instance, I looked at the 31-page document, their manifesto.
How many Nigerians knows the manifesto of APC? Nobody. Ẹ kàn follow wọn gọ̀ṣúgọ̀ṣù. Àwọn ilé ka manifesto yẹn pálí tó pálí. How many Nigerians following APC knows their manifesto? You don't know it. Just hear Jagaba. Moke Aziz, Ìgbòho ṣá, mọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá land. Your message, I believe we will get there one day. Ó ti di dandan. Ojú ń kán ìbòjì ni, òun máa débẹ̀ lágbọ́rọ̀ lọ. Must be kò ṣe takuntakun máa yẹ kó sọ ẹ máa yẹ kó rẹ gbogbo àwọn ṣọ́ṣọ́ọ̀tì yẹn máa jù síta ẹ lọ support must be ẹ lọ sórí YouTube ẹ follow ẹ bá share àwọn programs wọn àwọn bàbá Èkìtì ó ṣe gbogbo wọn ẹ share àwọn messages wa jáde bó pẹ́ bóyá ni a máa bọ́ nínú ẹ̀ mo kí ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tẹ́ wà lórí ètò pẹ̀lú mi ẹja parí ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ilé ilẹ̀kùn sí.
You see some wish list. But when you look at it, there is nothing ideological thread tying all these things together. They are, for instance talking of when it says you want to give us 40,000 megawatts of electricity for 4 to 8 years, you just know that somebody just wrote something on paper.
Did you hear that? Ó wù mí pé kí n parí ètò but bí ṣe ń gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n yìí when you say you want to give people 40,000 megawatts how? This was 2013 before Moke Baba mi Kọ́láwọlé Hamzat tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀ mo fi kí n dádì mo kàn mọ bí ṣe máa kí lédè Germany ni àbí ká kíra wa lédè Yorùbá. This was mo kí ìwà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀wọ̀ tójọ́ mẹ́ta tí mo ti kí àti yèyé oge. I mean, they promised us 40,000 megawatts. Ojoojúmọ́ ni grid in collapse. This was before Buhari came to power. This was 2013 when Jonathan was still in government. Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Odúmákin Ọlọ́run fọ́run kẹ́.
I don't want to do that. In 4 years, 4,000 megawatts. Where we are today. They are telling us, okay, yes, we want to put 10% of our budget on education.
They want to put 10% of our budget on education. Buhari kò ní kú síbi táṣù ẹ̀ wà. Bàbá yẹn dead or alive tó àmọ́ bí ó ti kú bí ó wà láyé lóòótọ́. They put 10% in education.
And I said, okay.
Okay.
10% on education. UNESCO is recommending 26%.
And you want to put 10%.
And
UNESCO is recommending 20-something%, and Nigerian government wants to put 10%. That is even if they put the 10%. Our politicians, wọ́n ní kúre.
For that kind of thing, maybe you can go to a place like Kuma and they'll clap for you. Because where I come from, I remember that as far back as between 1954.
Àwọn ilé máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa regional government. Ẹ̀wọ́n kan tó fẹ́ sọ nísìnyí, wọ́n fi mẹ́nu lọ sí 1954 nígbà tí regional government ń ṣiṣẹ́. Nígbà tí region wà, tí àwọn bàbá lọ́wọ́ lọ tó ń pump owó sínú education, gbogbo wọn kàwé tán, Ọ̀ṣínbàjò gbogbo wọn. Mo rí Ọ̀ṣínbàjò pẹ̀lú grandson ẹ̀ lánàá lórí Instagram page ẹ̀. When it's good to have grandchildren, kọ́lọ́n bá wà pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ yẹn. But bàbá yín, one bastard ni. Gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ. Torí ó wà lára gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Buhari tó bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, kò ń ṣàwọn ọmọ yẹn mo bá wí o, bàbá wọn born bastard ni short man devil. Ọkọ̀ dé fìlà Awólọ́wọ̀ wọ glasses Awólọ́wọ̀ ó fi ń parọ́ for everybody.
1965 in Western Nigeria. The least that was ever put on education was 29% of the budget.
Did you hear that? Ṣèbí nǹkan tí Ìjàyà sọ nìyẹn. The least that Awolowo put in the budget in 1950 something was about 20-something%. Ẹ̀yin wá ní ẹ fẹ́ fún education ní 10%. And you're expecting to have a top-notch quality education. Ìyẹn náà ni wo. Ṣé rí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ lọ ṣe nursing ní ibi tí mo kà láàárọ̀ yìí ní ìlú Ìbàdàn? Wọ́n ní ti fraud o. Wọ́n ní fraud ti wà níbẹ̀ o. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ti wọlé sí UK, àwọn nursing exam result wọ́n pè bẹ̀yẹn ní ará Ìbàdàn ti jẹ gbèsè lọ́wọ́ mi láàárọ̀ yìí. Wọ́n ní kinní kan Unique Technology Test Center Ìbàdàn. Wọ́n ní fraud lè ṣe níbẹ̀. Fraud. Gbogbo àwọn 512 Nigerians tó ṣe exam lọ́dọ̀ yín níbẹ̀. Gbogbo wọn pátá wọ́n máa check wọn lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan padà. Èmi kọ́ mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Àwọn Nursing and Midwifery Council ní United Kingdom ló ní sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá bẹ́ẹ̀. They like Nigeria. They play. Èbí nǹkan tẹ́ máa ń sọ fún mi náà nìyẹn. They play. Ìyá mi Grace Olúṣòótọ́ mo kí ẹ. Ìyá dáadáa.
Father, the state you went to was at 41%. So 60 years after, you're not telling me that you want to put 10%.
60 years after, they don't put 10%. They put 10% in education. Àwọn ọmọ lánàá gbogbo máàsì wọn tó ń ṣe lórí iPad bọ́dẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe máàsì yẹn mathematics ló máa ń pe kinní yẹn bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe kinní yẹn onídàdé 3+2 mo ní 4 ni ṣé mo ní wá mọ̀ yẹn ni èmi náà mọ̀ máàsì díẹ̀ bọ́ bá ṣe ń ṣe kinní yẹn báyìí automatic ó ń padà lọ sí school wọn because ó gbọ́dọ̀ sign in onídìí internet láti inú ilé lọ ti ọmọ kó ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè tí mo ti fẹ́ máa lọ.
Then you say, okay, yes, we fight corruption.
How?
Like I said earlier on.
Ṣé Tinubu máa fight corruption? Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí nísìnyí tẹ́ láìkì Tinubu. Ṣé Tinubu lè probe Buhari? Ó ń probe Emefiele. Ẹ máa fa wèrè ní kíni? Èmi ò ní sọ ìtókù tí a kì í sọ̀rọ̀ àlùfàǹṣá níbí báyìí. A dẹ̀ love àwọn sisters àwọn mothers wa. So ọ̀rọ̀ bíi ká máa sọ̀rọ̀ sáwọn obìnrin kò ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ tó dáa kíyàn máa pè jáde. But ẹ ṣe àmọ́ tí mo mean. Ṣé Tinubu ó lè probe Buhari? Ẹ máa fa wèrè ní kinní kan ni. Ẹ support KOIKI media, ẹ fún wa lówó, ẹ support media wa so that owó làwa náà máa fi ra system àti ní system internet services. Ẹ má bínú àlè gbé ẹ̀kọ́ kan wọlé mọ́ torí mo ti fi parí ètò yìí. Mo kàn fẹ́ ká gbọ́ Odùmarè tán délẹ̀ ni. Tàbá dẹ̀ ní ká support voluntary ni. Kò ṣe dandan. Bó bá wọn ẹ lè ní Koiki mọ̀ fún ẹ. Ẹ̀yàn tó dẹ̀ ń fún wa àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ó yá gbóhùn sókè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Odùmarè.
If you say want to fight corruption, and a lot of your own chieftains are that really of corruption before EFCC, corruption is there, we laughing. You say a lot of them. Oh yes. There's look, the benefit you're having this time around is that all these new so-called new parties are coming up. Most of their chieftains have been in government between 1999 and now. So like Kaniji said, so it's not more of what you are saying, but what you are doing.
It's not more what
but the fundamental thing, which I think they have shied away from today, is that the greatest problem confronting Nigeria today is this 1999 constitution.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ibikíbi tí spirit yín bá wà léni, èmi ò mọ ibi tí spirit yín máa ń lọ tó bá kú. Ṣorí lè tí mo gbọ́ lẹ́nu yìí, Ọlọ́run àbá ń túbọ̀ àwọn mẹ̀lẹ́bí tó kù tẹ́ fi sílẹ̀ àbá wà pẹ̀lú wọn. The greatest problem tá a ní òun ni 1999 constitution. Constitution yẹn náà ni Tinubu ń lò lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Constitution yẹn ni Buhari lò. Constitution yẹn ni Ọbásanjọ́ lò. Constitution yẹn ni Yar'Adua lò. Constitution yẹn ni Jonathan lò. They play. Èbí nǹkan tẹ́ máa ń sọ fún mi náà ni èmi náà ni they play. Ẹ ń fẹ́ constitution tí ó wà fraudulent. Ẹ fẹ́ fi fix Nàìjíríà. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ bá mi sọ èyí tó kù. Ilé láti ń dúró dè látẹ̀ nǹkan ó ti cost wa ní 7 minutes. Màá gbọ́ 3 minutes tó kù without interfering so that ká lè gbádùn ẹ̀ ká tó máa lọ.
It's a constitution that has enslaved the whole country. Every problem we see in Nigeria today, when we can trace to the constitution, because we pretend that we're a federal republic of Nigeria, yet what we have is a unitary constitution. And that constitution that's promoting corruption, that's promoting waste, that's promoting underdevelopment, that's ensuring that we are equalizing underdevelopment. I'll tell you, in 1999, when we started this experiment, the incidence of poverty in Nigeria was 46%. Today, it's over 70%. And yet, look at our resources. Between 1999 and now, the resources that are coming to this country is more than what we have made between 1960 and 1999. Why is that poverty is increasing? And yet, I want to assume you have extreme poverty, on the extreme, you have obscene wealth. Like politicians, people who are taking a political to Abuja in 1999, today are flying jets. A governor was telling us that my jet is not 9 billion naira, it's only 7 billion naira. Today they are promising us voice of the people. So the question, and today we should be talking about this, restructuring this country, changing this constitution. But what we have read.
Mo ń ṣàdúrà fẹ́ gbọ́n yìí, mo rí nǹkan kan tó ṣàmì kò dáná. Mo ní kọ́lọ́n bá mi fi ọ̀run kẹ́ Yínká Odùmarè. Ṣàmì. Ó ga o. Ṣé gbogbo ilé ìtọ́ sọ̀kalẹ̀ yìí nísìn? Àárí kankan mú ń bẹ̀. Màá tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Kọ́lọ́n bá mi fọ̀run kẹ́ ìyàwó tó ní tó fi sílẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ tó fi sílẹ̀, nǹkan ní ẹ̀ tó fi sílẹ̀, kọ́lọ́n bá wa dáàbò bò. Ẹ lè sọ pé àṣẹ, ẹ lè ní inshallah. They play. Lórí constitution yẹn, you are looking for a better Nigeria. They play. They play.
Even in APC manifesto say, okay, the constitution is a sacred document. The only place they are talking about amending the constitution is a land use act. So
amending the constitution is a lie. Mukiya tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Ètò ìtì fẹ́ wálẹ̀ láti ẹ̀gún kan, but a gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ ilé ìtàn délẹ̀. Ó kù just 1 minute 30 seconds lé lórí. Lẹ́yìn yẹn, pé na play anthem. Èmi náà lọ ṣe kí ni? Màá wà níbí báyìí náà ni. Kọ́lù àmà wọlé, gbogbo àmà wọlé. You are expecting Nigeria to work on the constitution? You must be joking.
So, and anybody today is coming forward.
Like Tinubu. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ò sí ní báyìí nígbà tí Tinubu wá jẹ president. Àwa tí báyìí sọ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹ ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
That's not addressing the structure of this country. It's not starting anywhere.
Tinubu is not going to address it. He will use the same constitution, defraud every Nigerian, and bye-bye, it goes. and return power to the North. Yeah.
Some APC gentlemen
Àwọn ilé àmà béèrè ìbéèrè àgọ́.
and they talked about how they are different from the ruling political.
Mo fẹ́ gbọ́ Chimbele àti gbọ́ nǹkan tá a máa gbọ́. I will share the link. Fẹ́ni tó bá fẹ́ lọ gbọ́, let me post it on my Twitter. Màá dẹ̀ share this same constitution tó sọ̀rọ̀. Go and listen to it. Maybe that will change. Movie kan tún lè léyìí o. This movie. Mo like àwọn movies tó bá ń yìnbọn para wọn. Kí lorúkọ mọ̀ communicate lọ́wọ́ The Covenant. Title abeg Sniper The White Haven The White Raven. Okay, èmi náà lọ wo eléyìí. Sniper nǹkan tẹ́yìn náà bá wá nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ lọ wò. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sọ̀bẹ Elédùmarè wà pẹ̀lú wa, kò ní fi wá sílẹ̀, kò ní jẹ́ kó sú wa, kò ní jẹ́ kó rẹ̀ wá, kò ní sú wa o, kò dẹ̀ ní rẹ̀ mí, kò ní rẹ̀ yín. Mo kí Yorùbá World Media, mo kí Yorùbá Home Based Media, mo kí àwọn independent media, mo kí Bàbá Akíntóyè, mo kí Ìgbòho, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá látòkè délẹ̀. Ọláyọmí Kóìkì lèmi jẹ́ tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Kóìkì Media. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa láǹfààní àti gbọ́. Wọ́n ní Oòduà gbé wa kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin girama láyọ̀ ẹnìkankan sílẹ̀. And thank you so much to our Biafra brothers and sisters, the Ambazonia, the Wales. God bless Biafra. God bless the Welsh people. God bless the Catalonia. God bless everyone that wants freedom to be free. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi DG75 kò ní tán níbẹ̀ o. Thanks so much for the love and the TikTok everything. Triple DRS ẹ̀gbọ́n mi gbogbo woolish. Ṣọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ ti wálẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín, kò tí wálẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwa o. Akim Ayọ̀délé to the Koiki Media team. Ẹ support ẹ fún wa ní náírà. Àwọn ọmọ mi ojoojúmọ́ ló ń ké bàbá kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ àárín kankan lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. And you can see they are working. You know, at least ẹ ṣáàrí tó jáde tí Mohbad náà wọ́n jáde. So ẹ̀yin náà ṣe kí ni ẹ support wa káwa náà lè jà sáwọn ọmọ yẹn lọ́wọ́. Have a very good afternoon. Bye for now. Ẹni tó bá mọ Yorùbá anthem ẹ̀kọ́ tẹ̀lé wa lẹ́yìn. Forílẹ̀-èdè. Kàgbéga, 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 kàgbéga. Ìgbàgbọ́, ìgbàgbọ́. Bàtí bẹ̀rù. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ìṣọ̀kan, ìṣọ̀kan. Ìkẹjẹ́. Tẹ̀síwájú. Fọ̀pọ̀ ire. Àtòhun. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Odùduwà. Lọ sí ipò. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Thank you so much and have a very blessed afternoon. Yoruba Nation, no going back. Yoruba Nation for life. Yoruba Nation for life. Justice for Mohbad. Justice for every Nigerian. And the dissolution of Nigeria will happen at the appropriate time. God bless Yoruba Nation. God bless Biafra Nation. God bless Arewa Nation. And peace to every one of you. Bye for now.